Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program.
Those adjourned. Those in favor, vote so ordered. Okay. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. Thank you. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in October 2020.
Thank you. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
You wrap up.
Tax Work-Off Program. Senior Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program.
Those adjourned. Those in favor, vote so ordered. Okay. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in October
You wrap up.
2020.
You wrap up.
Tax Work-Off
Thank you.
Program. Senior Tax Work-Off Program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, Tax Work-Off Program.
Those adjourned. Those in favor, vote so ordered. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see anything in October 2020.
Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see any of you in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of you in
You wrap
October
up. You wrap up.
Tax work-off
Thank you.
program. Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of you in
You
October
wrap up. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of you in
You wrap up. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Worcester Council Theater 3000. I'm Brian O'Donnell. I'm here with my boys, Brandon Malikin and Bill Shaner. What's up, fellers?
What's up?
Did you
How you
miss
doing?
us?
Yes, very much so. I missed the both of you very much.
We missed you too. I missed
Why is
everybody.
the chamber packed?
I don't know. That's what. Yeah. What's up?
Chamber stacked?
That's what John said.
What for?
Could it be the tax rate?
No. Who cares?
Nobody cares about that.
I think Gamer's right.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a real switch. They're gonna do a real switch at the tax rate this year. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, the library board vote. Gosh.
Fuck. Oh, I shouldn't have agreed to do this. God damn it. Hey, you guys want to come back at 9:30?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fuck.
Gosh.
God
I've
damn
been
it.
up for a long time. I can't deal with this.
This is really the reason we just had the campaign cycle that we did. So these fucking townies could vote on their pick for the library board.
Oh my God. All right. Let me open up. So I have the agenda in a form where if you click on the link, it opens a page, which the city still has not figured out. So let me share that with you guys. It's very easy.
The city's page.
Yeah. Instead of having 7 agendas in your downloads, every time you go to open it, and then it's the most arbitrary file name you've ever heard of in your life, and it just downloads straight to your fucking hard drive. It's so bad. And there was even an item on like 2 meetings ago, I think, about how they were going to get rid of this system and go back to the old system, which wasn't good either, but like they haven't done that. They're still using this fucking thing. It's not good. Oh well. Oh well.
Here we go. Let me get us going here.
Library Board of Directors. Let's see.
They're pledging allegiance.
There's only one. Oh no, never mind. I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry.
Lies that swimming. Who's brought stripes and it's got nothing for this. Us. We're so ... Reckless. These are good. These actually are really good interpretations.
I can't find on the agenda here where the freaking libraries are. But that's
Reckless. Free. Can you wrap up your comments? You can do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Jenny wearing jeans to her last city council meeting. Casual Tuesdays.
Roll call.
Councilor Bergman.
Here.
This is
Councilor
Jenny's
Florio.
last meeting.
Here.
Councilor G.I.
Here.
Councilor King.
Here.
When's the last
Maura
meeting?
Carlson.
Here.
Councilor Ian. Councilor Ojeda.
We got
I think
another
there's
month.
one more.
Councilor Basillo.
Here.
Councilor Russell.
We gotta
Councilor
get
Toomey.
together all of our
Here.
favorite
Yeah.
Russell clips. We need to do
Oh, yeah.
a tribute video to George Russell.
We
the
have approval of
watermelons.
the minutes of March 4th, 2025.
I heard a guy
November 18th.
say the word empanada exactly the way that
2025.
George Russell would say
Those in
it today.
favor?
Dude, that's
And it
awesome.
made me
So
incredibly
ordered.
happy.
That banana.
Participate
We're gonna have an empanada.
pursuant
Yeah, I
to
think
the
I'm
Act
gonna
of
have an
2021. People can speak
You
for
got
2
any,
minutes and
beef
anything on the
empanadas?
agenda. This is city of residence. Item number, Mr. Cork.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Rule 39, items of public interest. At every meeting of the city council, under public participation portion of the agenda,
Yeah, I haven't
the
listened
chair
to that.
shall recognize any person seeking such recognition for the purpose of addressing the
yeah.
city council
I look forward
on
to it.
any eligible item on the agenda for meeting both in person and remotely.
You're gonna have
Any
to change the
person who
George
wishes to speak
Seption.
on more than one agenda item shall combine their testimony on all items
Oh,
at one
yeah,
appearance
yeah,
at the
yeah,
microphone.
yeah,
The
yeah.
time for
Hello,
speaker
hello.
shall be 2 minutes for any one speaker, 30 minutes for all speakers.
Minimal
Rule
clickety-clack.
40 petitions. On the
I'm
first
getting-
occasion, any petition appears on the city council agenda.
Almost removed the
The prime
clickety-clack.
petitioner may address the city council for no more than 3 minutes on a subject of their petition.
Name, city of residence, item number.
Fred Nathan Worcester. Items number 8A through 8I. They're all
Yeah.
dealing with tax classification in one way, shape, or form or another. Let's just face
K-Toomey,
facts.
the K-Toomey screenshot
You
where
cannot
he's
raise
talking
more
about
than
how it's historic, about how it's
2.5% above the
It's
taxes. So
just-
one
that's
way
the-
or
one of the
another,
funniest
taxes are
things
going to
about
go up because they certainly not going to go
First
down.
counselor from India,
I mean,
comma,
I think there would
follow-up.
be a snowstorm in the middle of July before the taxes will go down.
Get ready,
There's a
pal.
better chance of the being
Yeah.
a snowstorm in the middle of July than the taxes ever going down. One
Say
way,
it
shape,
one
or
more
form.
time so that we get it.
I don't know the numbers, but there's about 50-odd items in here of dealing with speed humps, bumps, whatever you want to call them. And I find it very, very interesting that
Speed
every
humps,
single
speed
one of
humps,
those
speed
items was placed
Check it
on
out.
file. In case there's anyone out in the
You
real
find it
world doesn't
interesting
know
that
what
they
that
place
means,
on file.
when
That's
it
what every
gets
single
placed on
petition
file, the
ever.
circular bucket, that's where it goes.
Fucking who cares?
I
Let's take a new
number,
tact with this shit.
19C.
I'm not getting mad
There
about
seems to
anything.
be an issue with 100
It's all
Providence
funny.
Street.
It's all
At some
vibes.
point in time, the city will have to either take charge,
It's the
take
most
property,
obscure
sell
reality
it,
show.
do something with it, or
Put a
once
microphone in a
the
stand,
ambulance
not
is
plugged in
leave
anything.
there, it will sit vacant for 30 years.
And just
I
left
hope
it
that
there.
doesn't
You could
happen.
keep
You
it
got
busy for the
property,
next 3 or 4
something to do
years,
with it,
just
do
talking
something
to
with it,
himself
sell
before.
it.
just-
Let
he
somebody
just
come in
keep
and tear
going,
it down and
brother.
build condos
Brendan, you're
here.
quiet on my
You
end.
need
Is
more
anyone having
housing.
trouble hearing Brendan?
Housing.
a little
Housing.
quiet.
Should I say it one more time, Mr. Mayor? Housing.
Thank you.
A little better.
Yeah.
What's your name, city of residence, and item number?
Good evening,
That
members of
might be
council.
a-
Mike
a me
Kane,
thing. I'm
with
trying
Worcester
out
Regional
and-
Chamber of Commerce. I'm also
Oh,
a renter
this
here
fucking guy.
in the city of Worcester. On behalf of the chamber,
Because he has like a
we'd
Tom
like
and Greg
to support
style
offer
relationship
our
with
support,
Tim Murray.
for line 250
He just,
of
you
the
know,
tax
it
classification
takes
vote
a few
tonight
of this guy
to lessen the tax classification
takes
gap.
a few. You
in
have
the
to
city.
crack a few eggs.
Ever
to
since
the
1984,
Crack a
Worcester
few
has
eggs
operated
and
under a dual
and
tax
I'll
rate
find out
system,
about
and these has been designed to protect the homeowners. However, over this time, what we've seen is the commercial and residential tax rates have widened significantly, and now
What up,
Worcester has
Mokro?
one of the highest commercial tax rates. in the
Molly, are
Commonwealth.
you going to
This
see
imbalance
all the
has
extended
produced
editions of
economic
Lord of the Rings
consequences.
playing in theaters in
We've seen that
January?
businesses are being discouraged from coming to the Worcester, locating here, investing
What theater
here,
is doing
and
that?
expanding. I
A
had
bunch, but
conversation
AMC
this
is
weekend
where I'm gonna
with a
go see
business
it.
owner
Word.
actually invested here in the city of Worcester.
I've only tried to
They saw
marathon
a
those one time,
100% increase
and
in their
it gets
tax rate
really
when they
hard
invested. That
once
corresponded
you're
to
like at the end of 3.
$20,000.
Yeah.
Just for their tax rate
This
for
they're
investing here in the city.
smart the way they're doing it though,
And
or maybe
additionally,
dumb. I don't know.
you know,
Depends
what else we've seen
on your
since
life. But
1984
one on
is
Friday,
that
one on Saturday, one on
the total
Sunday.
property values
Yeah,
for
that's the way to
commercial
do
tax
it.
rates
That's really the
has
way to do
decreased
it. More than one of
significantly.
those in one night,
34%.
because those are slow
Now
movies.
it's only 21%.
As much as I
So
love those
supporting
movies,
not
formative
line
movies for me, they are
254,
very slow.
It's not going to give
Yes,
businesses a break,
especially the extended
but it's
editions.
ensuring that Worcester has
But the end
long-term
of the
financial
extended has
stability.
the hand.
It's strengthening our commercial
the
tax
coolest
base,
character
stabilizing
besides
future
Tom
residential
Bombadil
tax
in Lord of the
bills,
Rings.
and
The
sending a
hand
clear
of,
message that Worcester
The Hand of
welcomes
Sauron?
The
investment,
Hand of Sauron,
welcomes
yeah.
jobs,
The guy,
and
and the
welcomes
way
a
that they
balanced
did it,
economy
he's like
going forward.
freaking. He's
Thank
so
you.
cool.
Do you know who that is? That actor?
Thank you.
No,
It's the gyrocopter pilot from
What's
Mad
your name?
Max
The residence item number?
2.
no way, dude. That's
Yeah.
so cool,
Velasquez.
dude. The first time I watched the
think it's
extended
item
version, I was
8
like,
or
they
somewhere
cut
around there.
that.
I'm
They cut the best
advocating
guy.
For,
They
line
cut that. They had, we
260,
had
which I
a
feel is the mo-
5 minutes
which
of
I feel is the
Sam and
most
Frodo being just,
fair
like,
assessment.
sad. And they
I
cut.
also
Wow.
advocate for
Eric, what the hell?
the reason I come every
Now-
time.
You
just
is
resubbed for
because
2
I'm a school
years.
teacher of Worcester
Nothing.
Public Schools, and I'm here to advocate for
That
the
was-
kids.
Thanks, Eric.
And I'm hoping that this
Yeah.
year that
Fuck.
the city meets the minimum requirement and that.
Yeah, sorry,
we get
I
the money
I felt like we were
that
getting
the
that
law
wrong.
says
Mouth
we're
of
supposed
Sauron.
to. And at some point we didn't, and someone pointed out to me that we have or we will. It's
very true. This
So
is
I
true.
appreciate that.
That's sick.
If
Great.
it's not, when you see the budget.
It's 'cause he's like the
whoever's
only
gonna be
guy
on the
down
committee
there.
When the budget comes out, please
The only
make
guy, so
sure
many
that
guys.
the minimum requirement, which is the foundation budget, is met and not 99.9 cents and not 99 cents, but 100%, a dollar. That's what we're looking for. So 260 is the line I'm looking for. I have a brother-in-law that owns a company, and he also has a house in Worcester, and he feels, and I do.
260 is the line I'm
especially
looking
that
for.
That's equitable, because we want to support business. We need jobs. We need jobs
Okay,
to
dude.
support the kids that I teach. And so I can see both sides of the avenue, and with line 260, it's around 3%.
People talk about these
for
lines like
homeowners like myself
it's-
and for businesses.
It comes down
So I
from
would
the
appreciate
mouth of
line
God,
260,
right?
and I would
It's like,
also appreciate
no, city
on behalf of
employees
the children
drew
of
these lines like in a
Worcester,
specific way.
that
It's
we
Right.
things a
pay
leading
the
question.
minimum, so that if we run out
Also,
of money, or
the
we have a
differences between them,
challenge, we can
are
say to
so
the state,
as we talk about every year,
we
are
need help. And they
minimal.
don't say to us, hey,
Your
you don't
your
really
your
meet the
property
minimum
taxes are going
requirement.
up more than 10%.
So why should we
depending
give it to you?
on-
So thank you.
Like
Thank you.
most likely, regardless of what they vote on tonight.
Right.
It has
What's your
no
name, city
bearing.
residence and item number?
Rounding
Happy
error.
holidays. My name is Gary Hunter. I live in District 5.
Oh my God, that would
I
be
hope you'll
awesome.
indulge me a
Participatory
little bit
democracy. You get to
on the
pick your own
taxes,
tax rate.
and maybe I don't
Made-
understand completely the dual
Rich,
tax
get-
system.
get
I
whatever
know it
tax
gives
rate you want.
advantage to the homeowners, which I
Yeah,
am
then
one.
the Chamber of Commerce can
If somebody
take
could talk,
can take they
why
can
we
start
still
mass
have a
communication instead of going through
dual
the
tax
council.
rate would be great.
You're just going to see
And also,
commercials.
somebody brought that
Do
up
your duty.
earlier that
Pick a higher tax
if it
rate for
goes over, I
yourself.
saw some estimates, it was
So we
going to
can-
go up 3
so we can get a market
or
basket.
whatever. Does that mean it has to be a 2.5 override? The other one I'd like to just mention is 12.
That's a good idea. Everyone goes down to City
-B.
Hall and spins their little wheel.
With the
See.
snowstorm, I was on Facebook and I was defending the
we-
city's
we'll offer
work
up the
on
hot dog wheel.
snowplows. And apparently a lot of the city was not pre-treated. And I just
Colleen West
hopefully we'll
rolls
come
one
up with
that's
something
higher
to
than
see
the
why that
lowest
wasn't done.
residential, and then she just
The last
seppukus
one is
right there in
12A.
front of the.
We have a homeless situation, the housing situation, and we've had it for years. It just doesn't seem like it's an urgent problem because we don't see a lot of action on it. As far as the homeless situation, we're more
That's what happened to
apt
that guy from
kick
Jersey
people and
Shore
have
after
police
the show stopped.
play loud music and kick them out for the
Using the
only
homeless situation.
place they could go to get out of the weather. I don't see a replacement for the what was that, the
That's a good
registry.
one.
Got it.
And
That's
I
a
think we
fucking
need to
good
talk
one.
louder and get something
Still
done.
got it.
Look at the temperatures this week. The last thing I want to say is I was not at the meeting last week.
So outside of tax
The week
rate,
before, and I'm ashamed of the city
Mo
council.
Bergman put on an order
You
about
cut off
snow
public
plowing,
debate.
which is
This
so
should be
fucking
automatic.
annoying because
You cut 13 people off the phone.
it's literally just
and
a
didn't
setup
allow any
to complain
debate beyond that.
snow plowing.
I
I
think
didn't think
that's
it was that bad this
disgraceful,
time.
and I
Thank you.
think that we should
Thank you.
not allow that. And I think if it
Thank you.
happens again, we might have to do something about it.
Yeah,
as
thank
far
you.
as action. I
Thank
know
you.
it's over.
Thank you. Next speaker,
You can
please.
cut me off.
Yeah.
I thought he was coming back for more.
Joe Pagano, resident of Worcester. Speaking
Joe
on
Pagano. That name sounds
rate
familiar.
and tax classification. Thank you for the opportunity. $5,266. That's the average annual single-family tax bill. It strikes me as low for the baseline services we enjoy. 24 hours a day, we turn on faucets and have clean water to drink. We flush toilets all day
I don't know
long
about
without
24
concern
hours a
distressing
day
our
on
property's septic system.
I leave my water running.
Trash and leaves are picked up. and
I got
taken
a,
to the streets
I
and
had a
swept,
little
plowed,
glass of Worcester
and at some
kombucha
point repaired. Children have
after the
privilege
water main
of
break
attending
down the hill
public
from my
schools of
house.
choice. Beautiful parks provide a place.
It was real funky.
Law
It smelled like
enforcement,
gasoline.
Fire personnel keep us safe. Have an
There's like
emergency,
4
call
water main
911.
breaks in the last
Have a
5
concern,
days in
call
Worcester. Did you guys know
311.
that?
Have a complaint, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it.
Yeah,
But I
I
will
personally
speak to one that
experienced one.
relates to business, tax incremental financing with developers
Yeah,
that
we
have not
got hit
gone
with
as
one.
planned. Sometimes in business, like in life, deals fall apart. You move on, you make new deals. I'm not a fan of TIFs, but they are necessary, particularly in distressed areas to stimulate economic development.
move on,
We
you
wouldn't
make
be so
new
dependent
deals.
on TIFs if our tax structure is more fair to business. Business drives the economy, which expands the tax base. With the 8th highest commercial tax rate in Commonwealth, we're driving business away. Growing our tax base will not only decrease dependency on issuing TIFs, it will decrease dependency on federal and state funding for critical social services that too many residents depend upon to survive.
I hate it when these
Finally,
fucks talk
as one
about
of
how
the
any of that
fastest
money
growing
would go
cities in
back
New
into
England,
social
Worcester's
services.
tax
No,
base
it
will need to
would
increase to
not.
maintain and improve upon public services we depend upon and enjoy. For these reasons, I strongly urge the council to continue its commitment to narrow the gap between the residential and commercial tax rates to benefit generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody online? Got one person.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do have one calling user online. Try to mute Tom Henry. Please state your name, city of residence, and the item you're calling on.
Yes, hello. David Webb, Olympia. Sorry for the fake name. I was worried Nico would put me last again. 10.7a, the DPW double dipping should bother people, especially since neither jobs are done well. 11c, a good city would already be doing this. 19b, the report on the Worcester Police Department failing to follow their own procedures and protocols in regards to specifically body-worn camera usage. This is not a new thing. I
No,
filed
there
many
has been
complaints
no
about the matter.
single person
It
who
seems
has
like the
done
Worcester
more
Police Department doesn't feel the
to
need to
make me
engage their
care
camera when
less.
interacting with the unhoused community, likely because the Worcester Police Department doesn't see them as people. Unfortunately, that is not the only issue. The city law department consistently withholds public records, despite having had to pay 180 grand to the Telegram 2 years ago, and being told not to continue that pattern of practices by the judge then. Your law department seems to function to protect the city from liability rather than ensuring its administration and employees are in compliance with the laws they're supposed to be following, like open meeting, public record, and simply respecting people's rights. City Solicitor Alex Kalkunis, the new public records officer, cannot possibly do her job, both her jobs well, because if she actually started following the public records law and providing footage from officers, she'd have a lot more liability to answer for. The city's ongoing pattern of promoting the person trained by the last guy, the Worcester way, rather than having a search for a competent, qualified candidate, continues to screw over constituents through mediocre services and unending lawsuits.
Okay.
Yes, please. Make sure the cops are actually using the cameras they're paid extra to use, but also please comply with the public records law and fork over the videos of their bad behavior without making people endlessly appeal to the state. The judge said in 2022 that she expected you to do your job with integrity. It would be wonderful if you all started. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, we'll close that part of the meeting. And
Heartbreaking. Worst person, makes a good
okay,
point.
first up on the agenda, we have an election of 2 residents of the Library of Board of Directors. We have 3 applicants: Sharon Boateng, District 3, Stephanie Pasha from District 1, Ronald Waddell from District 4. So the clerk, how we're going to vote on this, the clerk is going to call the roll of the city council, with each member indicating the preference for each of the 2 available positions.
I hate the way they do
The person
this.
receiving the most votes and who also receives 6 or more votes, which is a majority of the full council, should be elected to that position. If a
We can
position
do
is not
ranked
filled
choice
on the
voting
first
for
ballot, the list of eligible
library
candidates
board,
shall
but
be
we can't do
reduced by removing the candidate who received the least number of votes on the prior roll call. And if the candidates, you don't have to, but if you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome. Seeing nobody rushing up to the podium, I think that's a no. Okay.
Chairman.
Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just had a quick question. I didn't see it on here, but these other folks, do we have an idea when they're coming off? I'm just wondering because of the numbers and what we're voting on. Do we know through the chair to the administration? District 1, 2, 3, and 5. One of those folks. Already know obviously Bagdis and Wallace. But outside of that, do we have a general year within which that they're coming off before we vote?
You have a library director here, Jason.
Through the chair, elections, we have a 12 board membership. The design is every 6 years, they roll off. So essentially you vote for 2 every year. Our next 2 that are coming off will be Matthew No in 2026 and former Senate President.
Keep 'em on.
Oh, not Matthew, no!
2026. However, one stipulation is that board members are allowed to serve up to 10 years, but not more than 10 years. So if someone fills in term, they may ask to renew their term as long as that total isn't more than 10 years.
Okay.
So you get
Okay, that's
2 new ones
sufficient.
every
Thank you,
year.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Waddell?
Yes, I have a comment here that I'd
Sure,
like to
go ahead.
share, if that's possible. Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, City Councilors, members of the Selection Committee, Jason. My name is Ron Waddell. Truly grateful to be here. Otherwise, I'd be at home trying to figure out 7th grade math.
I met this guy.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to share why I think I should serve on the Worcester Public Library Board. My connection to the library isn't just theoretical, it's practical.
So interpersonal.
From 2014 to 2017, I was the inaugural pilot of the second bookmobile.
Brendan, your mic is cutting out. Can you get your mic closer to you? It's getting
Access mattered most.
overpowered,
I watched
I
kids
think.
light up when they got to hold books in their hands and listened ad nauseum as they talked to Siri on the iPads.
Yeah, something's
I saw parents discover
squishing
resources
it.
they didn't know
I don't
existed, and
know.
strangers become neighbors as we pulled together and brought knowledge to them. I also stand here as a dad. I have 2 sons that are in the Worcester Public Schools, and the library has shaped their childhood, literally. Isaiah was born while I was on Lily. One city, one library, talking books, museum passes, tech labs, literacy programs. I've watched as all those have allowed their world to expand because of the library. And I want to have the same access for every family, especially now, when information, technology, and truth don't reach
A little
everyone.
bit. It just, yeah.
Professionally,
Keep
I
talking.
lead Legendary Legacies, a nonprofit focused on reentry for formerly incarcerated and community violence intervention.
Still
We
doing it.
started with
It's
a
like you're
seed in
getting
the
overrun
idea
by the
and now are a multi-million
stream
dollar
audio.
organization serving over 150
Yo,
people.
text me a picture
With
of
that, we
your
are working
pod,
with folks
your
navigating
pod tracking
trauma,
detail.
incarceration, unstable housing, and all other barriers
have
to
an
opportunity.
I think I have an
So when I
idea.
talk about equity, it's not theory again. I sit with the young men trying to apply for a
USB
job
steps, right?
and sit with those who are trying to make their way through challenging times.
Yeah.
A mother looking for a safe place to bring her kids and returning citizens to learn how to use the library. It's why the library's mission resonates with me, to be the heart of the community, to nurture lifelong learning, and to champion intellectual freedom and to make information and services available to all people. I know these realities and I know the opportunity within them. In that, I also serve on the Worcester Education Collaborative Board, the Greater Worcester Community Foundation Board. I am the Vice President of the Church Council at the Journey Community Church, and these roles have taught me what governance is, that it requires listening deeply, asking good questions, stewarding trust, and aligning
Oh,
mission
yeah,
and
right?
strategy. If selected, what I bring is an equity lens grounded in practice, ensuring that the library doesn't just open its doors, but actively reaches, equips, and supports people who don't yet feel invited. Strategic thinking, connecting the library's mission to civic learning, digital resilience, and community
If they don't vote
well-being,
this guy in now,
and
then
deep relational leadership, grounded in collaboration,
I
curiosity,
didn't-
accountability,
so,
and the belief
did
that
I miss
solutions
it?
are
Is he one of
strongest
the
when
candidates?
shaped with the people who are
Didn't
most
they
impacted.
not say his name?
Lastly, we are
I
in a
don't
moment
fucking
of misinformation, division, rising need, and widening gaps, not just in literacy or technology, but in trust, connection, and dignity. It's my opinion that libraries sit at
It's
the
over the
intersection
past
of
week and a
truth,
half.
learning, and hope. They safeguard our
Like, just
democracy
the
and
act of
expand
paying attention
imagination
has
and
been
anchor
physically
community.
painful for me.
Sometimes they are literally
I am.
places of
That's how
refuge,
checked out I am.
be it for sources of warmth or cooling, but always places of belonging. At the end of the day, this isn't just a board seat for
Chambers,
me.
Ron
It's a
Wydell.
chance to widen the circles for those who belong, a chance to make sure every child, every family, every neighbor, whether they came for books, for safety, for warmth, or for hope, knows that this library is theirs. I've spent my life building these pathways, and it would be an honor if you saw it fit for me to serve in this capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. We also. What's your name?
He did, I may as well. So Stephanie Pasha, District 1. Thank you for your time this evening. Mr. Mayor, Manager Batista, members of City Council. I'm seeking reappointment to the Worcester Public Library Board of Directors and humbly ask for your support. Many of you may have some PTSD seeing me here, as I was in touch with you regularly during my first term serving the library, seeking support for new ideas, sharing updates about successful initiatives, and inviting you to events. The Worcester Public Library is my whole identity. My social media feed is almost entirely dogs and the Worcester Public Library.
I don't know about
On
that.
a really good day, it's dogs
Doesn't that-
at the
doesn't
Worcester
that
Public
sell?
Library. My friends all know that every conversation with me will include something about the library, whether it's sharing an event, how to use Libby, information about sewing classes, a recitation of the items in the Library of Things collection. There's always a reason for me to bring up the WPL. And I fear that if I send Jason Homer one more TikTok idea, he will block me. Serving on the board for a second term may seem greedy, but the experiences I gained in my first term and the historical knowledge that gives me would be an asset to the current board, as well as to the executive director and his team.
Oh, there we go, Brendan.
It
Now we're getting-
provides me
now we're
with a
getting
broader
some-
lens to help
some clarity
evaluate
on
and
the
offer
mic.
guidance on the execution of new initiatives. I've also had the opportunity to build relationships with the executive director and members of his team. We've worked well together in the past and have developed trust and mutual respect. As a Worcester resident for nearly 2 decades, I also bring a network of friends and professional connections with me. One of the most important roles the board members have is to advocate for the library, and I do so shamelessly. Every year I get new people from my circle to attend events, give money, and even to sign up for a Worcester Public Library card, including friends from Cambridge, Stoughton, and Canton. In short, I am respectfully asking for your support and confidence so that I may continue to meaningfully and wholeheartedly serve the institution that I love so dearly and that serves its patrons and the community so richly. It is an honor and a privilege to be affiliated with the Worcester Public Library, and serving on the board of directors is not something I take lightly. It is a deep commitment, and should I be selected, I assure you that I will accept that responsibility fully and enthusiastically. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Online, we have Sharon Boateng. Sharon, I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Yes.
Please say
Thank
no.
you very
Please say
much,
no.
Mr.
Fuck.
Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and members of community. My name is Sharon Boateng. I am very honored to be here tonight as well. Online, I am a candidate for the Worcester Public Library Board of Directors, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I am a proud Worcester resident and a firm believer in the power of public spaces, especially libraries. The Worcester Public Library is one of the few places where people of all backgrounds, ages, and experiences can come together freely. I believe it provides access to information, support learning, and offers opportunities that many in our community would not otherwise have. That being said, I think it's something worth protecting and expanding on. My community involvement has taught me a lot about Worcester needs, ranging from I am a sexual assault counselor at Pathways for Change. I support survivors through crisis situations and help them to navigate medical, legal, and social systems. Through this work, I have learned and seen how important it is for people to have safe spaces, trustworthy institutions, and accessible resources. I have also volunteered in places like Emma Bowen Foundation, the Andisatic at South High Community School, Christopher Height Assistant Living, and my local church. These experiences have all come together and really shaped my understanding of community dignity and equity, which I think are values that guide my commitment to public service. Professionally, I work as administrative at Brigham Women's and Hospital. I handle philanthropic gifts with attention with accuracy. I have also worked in to manage databases, which I think is very important in the library resources. I understand that this board plays an important role in ensuring the library remains accessible and responsive to community needs. During my research into the meetings that have been previously done before, I noticed that there's a lot of talk on hybrid participation, maintaining public facilities, and I believe also that the library governance should continue to reflect those same priorities, creating policies that ensures everyone from every neighborhood in the city and background can fully access the library.
Which is weird because
planning and also making sure resources are funded at levels at real community need and demand. If selected, I will bring dedication, curiosity, fairness, and strong work ethic. I will listen very carefully, collaborate respectfully, and also keep the community at the center of every decision. I want to help ensure the Worcester Public Library continues to be a welcoming place, enriching, and also fast-forward thinking for youth and children. Thank you for your time, and thank you for my consideration in the Worcester Public Library Board of Directors.
It could be that we have the...
Okay, so we're going to choose the two candidates each council will vote for. If you don't get picked,
You sound fine.
will not be picked.
It's going to be on my end. I'm going to check something. I'll be back in a minute.
Next year. So
okay.
to get on to the,
this is a good time to go because...
Okay, everybody else set for the...
This takes so long.
You good? Okay. Two candidates. Yep, so you'll pick two candidates. Okay, roll call.
Councilor Bregman.
Stephanie Pasha, Ronald Waddell.
Councilor Calorio.
Sharon and Ron Waddell.
Councilor Agia.
Pasha and Waddell.
Councilor King.
Pasha Waddell.
Councilor Merle Carlson. Councilor Nguyen. Councilor Ojeda.
Pasha and Waddell.
Councilor Pasillo.
Pasha and Waddell.
Councilor Russell.
Pasha and Waddell.
Councilor Toomey.
Boateng and Waddell.
And Mayor Petty.
Stephanie Pasha and Ron Waddell.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, on the ballot, on the first ballot, we have Stephanie Pasha and Ron Waddell being elected.
Okay. Congratulations. Look forward to working with you. Thank you. Okay. We're going to go to the tax classification hearing. Hopefully it goes as smoothly as the library vote. And so we have 8A through 8I. We'll do proposals and people can speak. And Councilor Toomey.
Pain.
Looking at the rates,
She's in the building?
It's very important that the message
In the building, not in the
that
room.
there's equity. And if you look at line 266, you'll see it's the closest percent change to the tax bills from year over year for both the residents and for business. So line 267 is one that I would propose.
Okay, so 267.
Why is she in? She's in the room with the background blurted out, which is a weird move.
The factor for the CIP factor would be 1.7446, and that would be a 3.56% increase for the residents and 3.57 for the businesses, which averages about $188 for residents and $12.92 for businesses. Council Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think for most of us, at least for myself, this is one of the nights I least like coming to city council, because we can't make, it seems like we can't make anybody happy, and I get it, because half the people that own commercial property aren't going to like what we do, and the other half that own residential property aren't going to like we do, and we just don't make a lot of friends when we do this, and they're difficult decisions. I'm going to propose line 269, which is the lowest, and it's slightly different than the previous number 267, but not much. But let me explain my reasons why. I did spend a significant amount of time over the last few days discussing these numbers.
Yo.
There is we're basing the increases, and you just mentioned.
Sound clearer, but much quieter.
Based upon a median average value of a commercial property and a residential property.
I may be able to do something about that too.
Two-family or three-family. The truth
Try it
is,
now.
a lot of properties don't fall nicely into that median. And if you look at the mean average, which is the average of all the properties together, with the residential property.
What the hell is he talking about now?
40%.
Hey! Whatever you did. Actually, I'm curious to know what you did.
In other words, 40% of the
I didn't do any. I
property
just
on the
restarted
residential
things. I think
property's
Brian
tax
just did
bill
something on his end
will be
too.
higher than
Oh,
no
it
matter
was
I
what
bumped you up a
price
little
we
bit,
pay.
yeah.
The whole
That's
time.
just the reality.
Oh, interesting.
Compare that
Yep.
to the commercial property.
I was artificially de-hancing Brendan's voice.
Fall
Yeah.
above
Well,
the average.
all right.
as
Well,
opposed to
I now I know what happens when my
under
shit fucks up.
residential.
It's always
So
Brian's
we
fault.
will affect 10,000 people, in my opinion, greater.
Like
than the
with
44
her?
property
I
owners
mean,
under the commercial.
yes.
By no means am I
We are
minimizing
dating.
the burden this puts on commercial property owners. And I think
One of my
I'm in the room with
unfinished
I say
tracks
this every
is
year when it
Kate
comes
two,
time for the tax,
a love song that I stitched
classification
together
model.
of Kate
And it
two
never
words
seems
to Rick
materialize, and
Cipro.
I'll take it
And it's
upon
like
myself in the
it's like a
next term
collage that was
to try
like
to be
Rick
more
Cipro, I
sober
want
about
you,
it.
and
But
I
we
was like,
really
this
need
is a
to
little bit
prepare
too
ahead
much,
of
actually. I'm not
time
gonna
for the
do it.
options that could be available, so that we don't run into this dilemma of hurting one versus helping the other. Because my intent, and I think all our intent, is to help everybody in Worcester, whether you're a residential or commercial property owner. But we can't do that the way the current system is set up. So in the coming weeks, Mr. Chairman, I'd like, and I will file an order for us to consider how we tax 9 or more units. And going by the numbers, if we tax 9 or more units like we tax commercial property, and let's face it, if you own a building with 9 or more units, you're not likely to be owner-occupied, and you're likely to be running that as a business, not as a residential owner. If we were able to tax the approximately 1,000 properties on the tax roll that are now taxed as residential properties that have 9 or more units, we would collect an extra $18 million in tax revenue. So that's not the only suggestion I have, but I'm sure others will have other suggestions. But we can't leave this conversation to tax classification night, because it always ends up like it will end up tonight. Some people will be happy and some people won't. And I think we can do better if we're more creative. It's not going to happen tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Seeing nobody else, Council Pasola, followed by Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, I want to start by agreeing with Councilor Bergman. This is a really unfortunate meeting every single year, and we can't make anybody happy. And I think it's important to note that this past fall, the Massachusetts Municipal Association released a report called The Perfect Storm: Cities and Towns Face Historic Fiscal Pressures. This lays out very plainly state funding has not kept pace with inflation. Unrestricted local aid is down about 25% from the early 2000s when you adjust for inflation. And this means cities like ours are asked to do more every single year with less. We are absorbing rising costs in schools, public safety, DPW. There has to be a better way than sitting here every December and fighting each other. It shouldn't be residents versus commercial. It really isn't a productive conversation. So this is mostly about how do we keep Worcester livable for people who are here. We want new families, we want affordable houses, we want to make sure people can afford their rent. every little bit counts. And, I said this last year, as Councilor Russell pointed out to me, but we feel the pinch at my house just like everybody else between heat, the rising utility costs, gas, groceries. Everyone in Worcester are juggling rising costs throughout all aspects of their lives, and it's the holidays. We don't want to push the residential rate too high and make it harder for people to stay in their homes. I want Worcester to always be a place that's affordable for everyone. And that's why I want to keep the residential rate as reasonable as I can. But at the same time, we need to be honest about the commercial side of the equation. Worcester has one of the highest commercial tax rates in the region. Last year, we set a rate just 3 cents above the lowest possible residential, which is why I think Councilor Toomey's suggestion is reasonable. It's 2 cents more. And I know that doesn't give a lot back to businesses, but it does send the message that the gap between business and residential and commercial needs to be shrunk down. And I say this as someone who is actively trying to help bring grocery stores into Worcester. And, I was thinking about it recently. I drive to Shrewsbury on Sundays to go to Market Basket. As soon as you cross the line into Shrewsbury, you have Market Basket, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. These grocery stores should be in Worcester. Our tax rate in Worcester for commercial properties is more than double Shrewsbury. So I just really believe there needs to be a balance. We need to keep homeowners stable and renters protected, but we also need to show small and mid-sized businesses that Worcester is a place where they can grow. And at the end of the day, I don't want to live in a city where the only businesses who can afford to be here are chain restaurants. I would live in Phoenix if that were the case. So I support
roasted Phoenix. God damn.
All right, Jenny, that's fucking sick. I would live in Phoenix. What a city to pick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Phoenix?
This is an important vote.
As in the
And I
one
think
from the
one of things
ashes?
that I'd like to see is, again, some equity. We know that right now in Worcester, families and small businesses continue to feel the pressure of rising
Let's square up this
costs,
frame, please.
housing instability, and uneven economic recovery. Tonight's vote will have a real impact on families, small businesses, seniors,
So avant-garde.
small landlords, homeowners.
Pictures up. Let's roll.
Those
They say that that's
should be grounded in
that sometimes
equity
that's an
and in the
artistic choice. Though.
experiences of both residents and business here
I
in
don't
the city.
know, but
Folks need to
Put a
understand
Dutch
that.
angle on it.
I agree that modest
ever since I
increases
saw one battle after another,
for both
speaking of
residential and
stuff like that,
commercial
I've
property
been
owners in order to meet our
all about
obligations
going
for
on
essential
Christmas
services
adventures,
are
being a
important.
Christmas adventurer.
I also believe, Mr. Chairman,
Really?
Mr. Chairman,
calling
I also
all the girlfriend
this
activities
one thing.
Christmas adventures.
We have to
We're
take a
gonna be
look at
Christmas
our budget.
adventurers.
Every year, I know this past term, we took a vote and reduced the amount of back and forth we can have as a council and finance committee. However, we need to work with the city manager.
Joe Biden was
to look at
fantastic.
essential services versus desired services.
We need to be able to eat off the
approaching
floor
next
in
5
here.
years that are going to be extremely difficult. We have a situation where the cost of living is rising, inflation is rising, wages are not. Services and the need for services continue to rise, Mr. Chairman. A gradual movement towards a greater balance between commercial and residential certainly makes sense, but we have to be fiscally responsible while protecting households already facing financial strain. And that financial strain has a direct impact on business, on commercial entities. And that's in the form of making sure we have a local workforce. If they can't afford to live here, we don't have a reliable workforce. We know that purchasing, right now, folks' discretionary funds that they're using, they're going out to eat less. They're engaging in things less in a more conservative way. Residents deserve this equity, and I also like to ask a couple of questions. One of the things that continues to be asked about me is the valuations of our residential properties. Through the chair to the administration, I would just like sort of a response to the market fluctuations, our valuations of commercial industrial property values, and residential property values and their market adjustment. The reason I ask it, Mr. Chairman, is we know that residentially, what people are seeing in their neighborhoods is that properties are selling at a higher rate, and that's impacting, you know, their bottom line. In addition to that, Mr. Chairman, we know that in Boston, they're looking at the commercial and the residential and their dual tax rate. And the thing that I'd like to see is when we talk about equity, is as Councilor Pasillo and Councilor Toomey mentioned, how close can we be to fairness? But if we could ask a question through the chair with those two specific questions.
Yeah, last
regarding the current
me and Chris
market
recorded a
property
podcast
valuation.
episode on Sunday. I just put it up today, but he showed me the Wings Over Worcester commercial from 2007, and that is the sickest shit ever. Wings over Worcester. Oh, dude, it's so cool.
Good evening.
I'll have
Through
Al
the
sing
chair-
for
through
you.
the chair to
Excuse me, Al.
Councilor King. My question is regarding what were the
Right. So,
average market adjustments for residential properties, commercial, industrial, et cetera, this year?
so through the chair, if I could quickly, again, what folks are saying, you know, the property next to them residentially, it's increasing. People are paying overprice for it. The impact that has, how's that impacting the market? And then additionally, the question around, are commercial properties decreasing in value? Are they increasing? Are we in a different situation than Boston, for example? Through the chair.
Through the chair to you, Councilor King. So this year was actually a relatively calm year with respect to market adjustments. Within the single-family class alone, we saw roughly, on average, a 2.7% market adjustment up. The 2 and 3 family classes were with the 2 family was roughly right around 5.5%.
Bring it down.
You wanna bring it down?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Yes.
Was roughly around 5.5%, and the 3 families this year had a market adjustment up around 3.5%. And so when you're wanting to know about the commercial values going up or down, again, it was a very calm year. With respect to commercial values changing, they didn't go up much, like less than 2% on average. And our industrial class was very, very calm with respect to market adjustments being less than almost 0.5%. So things were very calm on that front. You know, with respect to people paying more for their properties and the market itself, obviously this year compared to the last 5 years has been one of the smaller or less noticeable market adjustments we've had to make among all classes. And I think that can all be attributed obviously to what the interest rates are relative to what they were maybe 5 years ago. And, you know, it's the open market, the free market speaking. I will say this, though, that we have had a tremendous amount of new growth in the last 5 years here in Worcester, and that has been a really good thing. So, you know, it seems almost impossible to drive down almost any street without seeing something being built or having been under construction. And that has really been a huge help for, you know, the overall health, financial health of this city. You were asking another question regarding the city of Boston.
Right. So I was just asking in comparison to Boston, where they're looking at their commercial property rates going down. Sounds like we're not in that situation. It's pretty even. Is that right, through the chair?
Through the chair to you, Counselor. Boston has had a very different economic impact over the last 5 years, primarily due to the pandemic and the massive influx of office space now having been vacant. We had that here in Worcester, but Worcester recovered and is recovering much more quickly, in part due to the fact that a lot of these office buildings that were vacant are now being converted into mixed-use style properties where there's apartments maybe on the second floor up and some retail or office space on the first floors. And there's
Are a lot of
plethora
them?
of those developments going on right now.
Thank you. And I just wanted to ask you another question to the chair with regards to the tax levy. If you could just compare last go around with this go around. I know we were at 421,080,000 or so. If you could kind of just give the public a comparison of where we are, what's the differential, through the chair?
Mr. McGurthy?
Through the chair, are you asking the difference in the tax levy between FY25 and FY26?
Yes.
So in FY25, we had a tax levy of 396 million. This year, it's a proposed tax levy, 399 million. This year, it's a proposed tax levy of $421 million. That's a result of the Proposition 2.5 allowance, the new growth that was referenced by the assessor, and that includes the overlay, which is not in the budget per se, but it is an amount raised by the city to address any abatements that are processed throughout the fiscal year.
And what should the public take that to mean? Like, how does that impact things, through the chair?
Through the chair,
Is there any other way to explain it to the public so they can understand?
Essentially, what we do is each year, the property tax is raised by 2.5% as allowed under the law. New growth, which the assessor mentioned, is new investment within the city, new buildings, new utilities that are subject to personal property tax, kind of new value that's added to the city. It's not about year-over-year growth in the value.
Kind of weird
of
that
existing
Christian
building
is
or existing
asking
home.
to
It's about
explain this
something
better
new that's
for
out
us.
there.
He's the one asking all the dumb questions.
Those two components allow for the city to increase its property tax year over year to address the cost of operations on an annual basis.
Thank you. Through the chair, last year I remember Councilor Russell mentioning tax it to the max. If you could speak to the allowable tax levy and what that will result in, what numbers will we be looking at? Through the chair.
So the city, under the law, the city is authorized to raise $446 million this year. Due to actions by this council under the financial integrity plan, the council has chosen to waive the right essentially to raise certain taxes along the way, usually new growth over budget. That amount goes into what's called the unused tax levy capacity. The city's unused tax levy capacity is 25.8 million right now. That puts us at 8th highest in the state. We're one of the kind of strongest communities in terms of monies that are authorized to be taxed but not taxed. The result of that is a
That makes
tax
us strong,
savings
Bill.
to the taxpayer.
Oh, that's,
if
yeah.
all of those funds were included in
That
the
makes
tax
us
base,
strong.
which they
That
could
makes us-
do by
yeah.
vote of this council, that would increase the levy. It would increase the associated tax costs.
The unhoused people downtown
So those
issue
funds,
could be
25.8 million,
wiped
are in that
in like
unused
4
tax levy
days
capacity. This
with
proposed
$28
budget
million.
maintains that unused tax levy capacity per past tradition.
Thank
We
you.
could actually buy them all single-family
for
homes in
tax
Phoenix
incentives, we'll make that
and give them
clear.
a gift certificate
I
enough to
support-
enjoy a month's worth of
I'm going
free
to be
chain
supporting
food.
Councilor Toomey's recommendation.
Jenny could bring them down and give them a tour because
I
she's out of a
do,
job now.
Right? Yeah.
Have
I mean,
question regarding
shit,
one of the things
$28
that
million.
brought forth
That's
to the
seed money
council
for a
that
municipal
obviously
grocery
supported,
store right there.
and that's going to come
I
before
mean,
us
you
tonight
don't
is
you
the
don't need a
personal
lot more
property
than
tax
that.
exemption.
Not that I've ever opened a
One of the
grocery
things
store,
that
but
we
But if I was
are
going
do
to,
with that
28
is
million is the number I would
keep
probably
small
think about.
businesses
I think I could probably
we're
open
looking
one
at
with
close to
28 million.
3,000 businesses that would receive a break. And I know that the personal property tax is part of, I believe, the new growth.
You know what would be
this
sick
year. So if we could speak to
is if
personal property
like
tax
community
exemption
grocery
A
store
and then
model,
B for the public,
but you just
if we could
like
speak to the new growth that
do
we're
them in
experiencing,
storefronts and
that way. And
like
again,
at
for the
convenience
public,
store
the
size,
personal property tax
but you
that
charge
put
grocery
forward
store
exemption
prices.
for small businesses or for those with
Like
property
so
tax.
it's
I think the
that would
value is
foster
$10,000 and
walkability.
under.
Yeah, yeah.
I get
what you're saying.
It would patch in like
Sosa?
keyholes in
Through the
food
chair to you,
deserts,
Councilor King.
and
So
it wouldn't
if we
be
take the total
like
number of taxable
you
personal
wouldn't have to
property
compete
accounts
with grocery stores.
and
Right.
we apply
It would
the
completely
thresholds
change
and
the game
maximum
for the
threshold
breakfast sandwich
exemption, which is
market in Worcester as well.
$10,000. Out of a total of
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
4,267 taxable accounts.
You think I like
we would be
waiting at bagel time?
2,821 of those accounts.
When
which is
the
roughly
fucking
a,
dude down at municipal grocery store
66
number
1%,
045 makes a chopped cheese you would not believe.
change in the total taxable accounts. And
That actually would be genius, though, if that's the way you
that's all the
subsidize the
personal
cost
property
for
accounts. So the percent total
product
value that could be
at
exempted
scale,
would be
but actually scale the number of marketplaces too.
Right.
because we're dealing with
Yeah,
so
I think it gets two birds stoned at once.
I don't know anybody who actually enjoys being in supermarkets anymore. I'm sure there was a point in American history where that was like a wonderful novelty of just the surplus food that we had, and you could just go as an American and stare at it and put it in a big cart and then feel bad about buying it hours later. Everyone I know goes to a supermarket now, just headphones and eyes down.
Yeah.
$397
And you know, at the market basket, dude,
meaning
like people got to learn how to fucking drive because like
dollars in tax
the way they have that set up, they have carts
exempted.
that you can't fit
You
3
had a
carts in
question
one lane.
regarding the new growth and how that relates to these
So
exemptions.
you have a lot of like
So
waiting to get around
in
people.
almost all municipalities throughout the Commonwealth,
Because it's busy,
largest
but also because the
growth
carts are
that
so
any
wide and people don't know how to
municipality
drive.
will
And every turn is a
in
blind
personal
turn.
property is of course through the utility.
So you're coming out and people are just
And
freaking
that
flying.
rings
They're
very
freaking
true
flying with
for
those
us
carts.
here in Worcester, and I can assure you.
I think it's
that
probably the downside
those
too of
accounts will
having,
not be
you know,
exempted.
like Jenny was saying, and you're saying, you got all these Worcester people going to Shrewsbury.
With
It's
respect
not your
to
town.
new
So you
growth
can act like a
on
savage
these
out there.
2,000
Sure,
Right.
like
accounts,
the place is probably just
it would be
full
very,
of
very
surrounding communities.
minor.
They're
Bear
happy
in
to
mind
sell
that if
for
we were
Shrewsbury
to
because it's
abate
Shrewsbury.
all of these accounts,
Yeah,
as abate
right,
or
yeah.
exempt, the average
Yeah, I mean,
exemption amount.
wait,
would be
I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
$82.03
I don't want to get
for
sued.
these accounts. So it's a very minor impact.
I was
with
never
respect
able to prove that, but I got close. I kinda
Mr.
gave
Chairman,
up.
if I may just add,
Before you continue.
2.5 carts per aisle, right? Like Market Basket should
associated
figure it
with
out, and this is something that could be,
personal
you know, a
property
subcommittee could
taxes
study
that are
this
coming in through the
municipally.
before you continue.
3
Is there a
carts
number
per
that
aisle
we've,
is
settle that?
is what you want, because you need your
Through the chair, you're
two
referring to
your
the
2
amount of
lanes for
growth
people
that the
pulled
city
over looking at
received
their
this year
mustards and such,
from
and then you
personal
need
property.
1
Yes.
passing lane in the middle.
That amount actually equaled 5,000,000.
Is it that busy out there that there are that many people in the aisle at
Oh
one
yeah,
in new growth.
oh
And
yeah.
that was,
It is a
primarily
gleaming
regarding
like a
Thank you.
Thank
it
you.
is a
through
fantastic
the chair,
grocery
just
store.
quickly to add to what
It's
the assessor
worth
said, as
going
he
to.
just mentioned, much of personal property, if you think about
'Cause
utilities are
Price
often
Chopper
located in rights
and
of
Market
way
32
or
both
across
fucking suck, in my
other
opinion.
people's properties.
Shaw's
And so in that
is
sense, they do not receive a
whatever.
real estate bill. They are primarily billed as personal property.
There's not a
So
grocery store
large
in Worcester
majority
that I
of
like.
Personal property is
I do the
billed
big Y
to
over on
flyers,
B Street just because it's
piping,
easy
whatever
and it's
that might be.
Oh, that's
There-
yeah,
some of
that's
that,
that's
there's
for
also
where I live. That's
large entities,
awful.
large entities, you know, laboratory,
'cause
medical
getting over
entities with
there is like
significant personal
it takes a
property.
half hour
But the
every time for
utilities
some
are a big
reason.
part of that. And
It's
that's
gotten
why you
better
see
over there
such a
only because
significant
all the
disparity
technical
where
that normally would go to the Big Y.
66% of the total number of
For most of them, it's too
personal
close to
property
Park Ave.
taxpayers
So they go to
would
the
be
Big Y and
exempted.
Holden. So the Big Y and Holden is a total
So
fucking
much of
shit
the
show.
person
You'd never want to go to
represents less than 1%.
You can go to the Big Y
of the
most
total
days, in
personal
Worcester
property
most days
tax
of the week, and it's
liability,
just
because
empty.
so much of the
Because the
personal
whole target
property tax
demographic
is
over to Holden.
carried by
All people that wish they could
major-
live in Holden
either
but can't
major
afford it just
utilities
yet,
or
so they
major
just go shop.
corporations. And
Yeah.
The exemptions.
You know what I
against
was
the
the
very
last
small
time I was driving through downtown Holden,
Thank you.
I got on this
And
tip
through the
about how
chair
they
to the
like the Talbots
administration, with regards
that
to
they have
accessory dwelling
on Main Street there on 122.
and
Like
property values.
is that like is that a loss leader? Like or like is the real estate lobby of Holden, Massachusetts paying for that to like get people over the line? Like, look, we have a Talbots.
What is the impact on?
Because like what the that's the only non-mall Talbots I've ever seen in a non-vacation community. You know? Like you'll see a Talbots in freaking on Martha's Vineyard.
Am I missing Talbot's talk?
Dude, yeah. So my conspiracy theory is that the Holden real estate lobby fronts the Talbots on Route 122 as a loss leader to improve the perception of their community.
With more coming online and
They want to be Hingham. They want to seem like Hingham, so they have a Talbot, a freestanding Talbot.
Right, but it's not a vacation community. I mean, that you see freestanding Talbots only in vacation
that
communities.
is oftentimes determined by a number of factors.
Otherwise,
The square
they're
footage
at
of the
malls like the Native
improvement,
Mall.
be the grade of
Or at a time, the
quality
Auburn Mall.
construction, and of course, since it's new, we're going to consider it in reasonably good condition with respect to the cost to cure. But on average, you're looking at a range that could go from
Yeah, it's very weird to have a Talbots
65,000,
where it is in
depending on
Holden.
the lower end, all the way up through. Well,
Oh, Oliver, by the way, you did great at the Pleasant Street DOT meeting last week. Thank you for speaking there. I couldn't bring myself to say anything because that whole room was just ridiculous. But you could.
Mr. Chairman, again,
If I had known about that, I would have gone.
I didn't even think about it until afterwards, Bill, because it was so perfect for you. It was the only room in Worcester that night where you were going to hear people simultaneously, self-identifying as pedestrians and arguing against sidewalks or the need for them. It was such a genius move.
10 to 15 year plan.
It's crazy because I looked at the plans and it's like it's not there's nothing even controversial that I could see.
It is probably the best example going on in the city right now of something one that the city has no say in because it's a DOT project, but it's something that will impact nothing. Like all it does is like the state is spending pennies to give you a sidewalk and bike lanes. That's it. In a place that doesn't really exist, and people are losing their fucking mind.
It's
just a great example of how counties will complain just about change for the sake of having something to complain about.
Yeah, and then they're the only people that show up, and then the Telegram covers it as if it's a divisive issue. and
Considerations, of course, for folks.
City Hall responds to what the Telegram covers. It's a fucking vicious cycle,
obligations
man.
Or mortgage obligations went from 30 to 50% in the last couple of years, and there's a real need for.
I just got a kick out of all the people talking about.
I think that. Only suggestion that's made sense.
How like nobody could ever walk or ride their bike up Pleasant Street, and like that. It's like spend my entire life. I used to fucking snowboard down Pleasant Street in the winter because it was kind of boring over here, and it's not that steep, so it's not that fun. We finally had to have friends start joining us because the only way you could get used to hit the plow berms on the side.
What can we do for small businesses?
But yeah, it was so bizarre.
Not only will this personal property tax exemption impact close to 3,000 businesses, but it will also save the city.
Yeah, the Telegram quotes
from my
Oliver. The Telegram quotes Wayne Griffin talking about how
and freeing us up to go after the folks that are not meeting their obligations.
It's like making it a snow plowing issue, which is I thought was crazy because it's like this isn't the first sidewalk.
Well, and that's I'm sure you remember this, Bill, because I believe it came up at least once when it was Worcester magazine. There's a stretch of 122 that has a sidewalk, and the property owners for that sidewalk, they're like 100 yards away because they're on the other side of like a waterway, and then but it's like their frontage, but then there's wetlands, and then there's the houses. But because of the way the city ordinances are written, it's the people who own the property. It's like their responsibility to clear the sidewalks. And this, apparently the city's been doing it the last couple of years, but it's still like, it's this weird thing in that neighborhood where
Mayor Joseph Timpetti.
instead of someone just saying, well, like,
Thank you, Mr.
why doesn't the city
Chairman.
just take that,
Mr.
or the
Chairman, for
state
coming
take
out
that property by
tonight.
eminent domain, which would probably be an even bigger fight from the people who think it's worth something and want to have the frontage that isn't frontage because it's on fucking highway.
You know, and I remember.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest like abstract sort of complaint of the night, was trying to figure out who's responsible for shoveling a sidewalk that simultaneously everyone is saying nobody walks on anyway. So it's no fucking issue.
Yeah.
But it's also.
You know, we wouldn't be having these arguments if we funded the DPW. Hashtag fund the DPW. DPW strike team. And don't worry about how we're going to make up the money for it. You don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
Last year. And I just have some questions.
I'll say that we're taking away
You said
shit
that
from them.
Mr.
They're
McGrath,
lying. They're lying. That's not what we're doing.
Read in the reports that when it comes to business, some
It's a
of the
restructuring. We're just restructuring this department. We're not
commercial
cutting jobs. We're restructuring it.
highest in the
You know what chaps my
The
ass while we're on the subject?
that we're one of the
You know what really grinds my gears?
doesn't make it right.
How does the police
wait,
budget?
Sorry, hold on. Beating swords into
Through the
plows.
chair, I mentioned we're
That's
the
it.
eighth highest unused
Swords?
tax levy
What?
capacity.
Oh,
But
see, swords into
similarly,
plowshares,
I
the whole
don't-
thing.
number is actually
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last question.
Yeah.
We're just doing
Items,
plows. We don't
you
need
are
shit
correct.
plowshares.
Our
We just
commercial
need
tax
plows.
rate is one of
Oh
the
yeah,
highest in
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah. I
residential
like that.
tax
There's
rate.
a lot of good art potential for that. I think.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
So we know-
What was I about to
you know,
get
we're
out
not
my
dropping
ass all
the
chapped
taxes
about?
above.
You know what
We don't
chaps my
tax the
ass?
max with 25.9 below that. We started at 20
How are
years
we
ago.
short on our complement of
If you
police
look at
officers, but
back
the
in
police budget
2002,
goes up by like
3,
10%
we're
every
well-
year?
We're probably a million.
Like
Maybe close to
we're
zero,
we're
$2
down
million
jobs,
below the
but
cap. Then we raised that to
there's
25.
more money going
Imagine
to
that
them.
was being
This
taxed.
road
That's
gas
interesting.
is so expensive.
Taxes would even be-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. And there's so many costs.
If I had
Cost
to
of
guess,
insurance,
like just,
cost of
and I'm
water,
genuinely just guessing,
cost of
it's
utilities.
they haven't cut
There's a
any
mortgage
shifts
payment now.
because
You
of
get that gas bill,
personnel.
electric bill in the mail
So
now?
that's where the
What do you
in-house
have,
overtime
mortgage
budget
payments
is
for some
going.
people?
Oh,
It's pretty
okay.
expensive.
But I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
see there because you would see that as a giant line
I think it's
item for
important. We
overtime
started
in
10,
the
15
budget
years
this
ago to
year.
bring-
Yeah.
Gradually bring the rates closer together. Not to say we'll ever get to a single tax
Yeah.
rate, but we did start that 10 years ago. Then we get away from that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can start that back in the future. We can know what Council Bergman has to say and how we can move on that forward too. That was actually discussed several years ago, and there was no real appetite because you need state approval to do that. But
I pick up litter. Yeah, someone did. A kid actually died up there not too long ago, a couple years back, which is what led to the changes the way they are now. It was someone getting off of a bus crossing the street. Somebody passed the bus that had a stop sign out and hit the kid crossing the street, and they passed away. It was awful, tragic. DOT made some changes, so the turns weren't as blind. That's why it goes down to one lane now. So they're basically going to make the whole stretch formerly one way with bike lanes and sidewalks on both sides.
Recently too. So if we want to compete, we got to take this seriously, because why not go to Auburn? Why not go to Shrewsbury? Why not go to Fitchburg and invest there on your property?
That's what I've been saying lately. Why not go to
I just have
Fitchburg?
one question. When you look at these tax rates, I know we talked about market adjustments and things, Mr. McGurthy.
Whenever I'm down on
What goes into
Worcester.
the oldest tax? What goes in the rate when you do
You know, I
that?
was driving through Fitchburg
What are the
not
numbers?
too long
What are the
ago, maybe a
factors
couple
that
months
you
ago, and I was like, it's not that bad.
Mr. McGurthy.
Through the chair.
It's
you know,
really
as
not.
mentioned,
No,
it's pretty cool,
tax
actually.
rate
They did a great job in the
essentially
area
the
around Fitchburg
cost
University,
of
like the redevelopment around there. It
providing
actually looks.
government
I don't know.
with
There's
the
10 people
tax
in it.
levy required. So
It's,
in this case, we're looking at $421 million.
Yeah,
That
I
amount
have-
is then
in
divided
general, I have
among
mixed feelings
all of
about
the taxpayers based
campuses
on the
hoovering
value of
up
the
all, like,
property
the
and
housing
class of the property.
around
So if
a-
it's
a
residential,
school, but
under Worcester's dual tax rate system,
that
they would be
entire area
valued
was
and taxed at a
100%
residential
slumlords.
rate or
So-
taxed at a
dude,
residential
it's the
rate
worst.
based on the
Like,
value.
Literally
If it's
100%
commercial, it would
of my
be
really
valued
good
and
friends
then
who are
taxed at
now
a
all
commercial rate.
thankfully recovered from
That amount,
really, really
the
bad
budget
heroin
amount of
problems
$421 million
originated
is
in the
based on,
houses around
again, the
Fitchburg.
2.5%
Orange
increase
Street.
allowed under
100%.
law. Any new growth that is new investment into the city that can be captured.
That's weird
under
for a Worcester
Proposition
dude to be able to
2.5.
say, hey, every heroin addict I know
That
is from
number is what we use to build the budget each year. And then when we come to the tax rates, what we're simply doing is funding the budget that was approved back in the spring with minor changes related to free cash and new growth over budget and the like.
Okay. Now, budget, we do a pretty good job on the budget. You know, I think competent administration, we can talk about cutting, we've talked about that for years, but most of it's labor. The majority of the budget would be police, fire, teachers, DPW.
Oak Twitch, I'm not sure who you're asking that question to. The death that I was talking about was up by the past the rotary,
And
heading up towards Paxton.
just one more mention. I looked at what Boston's doing, Cambridge. I think Boston's increasing their rates by 13% this year, and Cambridge is right behind them. I think the commercial rate went up 22%. And if you talk to some of the contractors who work in the Boston area, developers, they're coming out west more. So I think this is, if we can really plan this out in the future, this is our chance to capture some of those developers, some of those businesses. It's getting too expensive in Boston, and they're coming out this way. Development's down in those cities and towns on the eastern part of the state for a number of different reasons. But if we can capture some of those in the surrounding area, right here in the city of Worcester, I think that's important to have those discussions. But and look at the new growth. I think the assessor was saying new growth is last 5 years. He couldn't ask for better new growth here in the city of Worcester. And that's really because what the council does, what this community does, what the city manager and his team does, when it comes to our finances, our new growth, people are still coming here to develop. And we just don't want to lose that going forward in the future. And because it makes a difference when Mr. McGrath's doing the tax rate, or figuring out he's going to spend money on for the next year. That new growth money is so important to the future of Worcester, and we need to continue that in the future. So I will go to support Councilor Toomey's item. Thank you.
Councilor George Russell, District 3.
Mr. Chairman, you know, every year I've talked about the tax rate. I'm going to do this just for the fun of it. I'm going to remind folks that might be at home and don't really understand this. But think of the tax rate as a seesaw. And the more you push down on the residential rate, the business side is going to come up. And for those in the business community that want to push down on the commercial side, it's going to push up the residential side. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, their shit is fantastic. We got a whole bunch of stuff
It's a
from them.
seesaw, Mr. Chairman.
Really good.
That members of this council have always fought long before I was here, and will fight over it long after I'm gone. Because an equal tax rate, many people in the community say, Joe, why isn't there an equal tax rate? Well, there isn't an equal tax rate because single-family homeowners under an equal tax rate would get a tax bill on average is about almost 30% higher than the one that they have today. And commercial uses, commercial businesses, will get a tax bill that's about 40% less on average. That's what would happen. Mr. Chairman, this sheet that the administration gave us, the big sheet, is an excellent tool, and I really want to congratulate them for doing it. I don't know where you got the great idea, but it's really helpful. And it's helpful because you can look at it all across the board. And when I look at these charts and I hear the conversations on the floor, I hear people talking about, you know, what can we do for small businesses? Well, there is something we could do. We could have done it the last 14 years while I've been here, but there's never been an appetite for it. And I hope going forward that the next council will have an appetite for it. And I'll ask for it as part of a report to come out of the administration for the small business tax exemption that is right now allowed under state law. The council or future councils can adopt, if they choose, a small business tax exemption, which would give a little bit of a break to small businesses. If you want to do that, you can do that. If there's 6 votes, you can do that. And I would challenge my friends in the business community to advocate for that. In the 14 years that I've been on this council floor, I've had various different members of the business community come, and they say, oh, the poor small business people, but not one of them have ever said, let's adopt the small business tax exemption. Let's all get on the same team. Let's adopt that in the future, a small business tax exemption. Mr. Chairman, my friend and colleague, who I'm going to support his motion for the lowest rate, talked about taxing apartment buildings 9 units or more. Well, I think that's one thing that maybe in future years, it might be helpful to have another chart or another line on this report, because when you look at these apartments, to be able to guess apartments in general, 10-unit building, there's a big difference between a building with 200 units.
If only we had a
There's
rental
difference there,
registry.
especially with some of these new modern buildings that are built today. But under the lowest residential tax rate, Mr. Chairman, and my fear of that kind of a thing in the future would be, if you're going 9 units or above, or any number that you pick, is that by taxing them, taxing those units more, the ones that have whatever number you pick and above, you're basically passing that bill along to the renters. The renters are going to pay for it. Okay, it might be a corporation or a big property owner that owns the property, but at the end of the day, real estate and rentals is a math equation. And once you add on that equation with higher taxes, it's not going to be eaten by the people that own the buildings. In the long run, it's going to be passed along to the tenants. And even under the lowest possible tax rate, the tax rate that Councilor Bergman put forward, the one that I'm going to vote for, if I get a chance to vote for it tonight, that rate for the apartments is going to see an 8.24% increase. 8.24% increase on the average apartment complex, or the apartment building. What do you think the landlords are going to do with that when they get that bill? You think they're going to say, oh, okay, well, we'll just pay it and live our merry life, or you think they're going to pass it along to the tenants? They're gonna pass
Do
it
rent
along
control
to the
then.
tenants. We talk every day about the housing crisis we have and how we need more housing. The growth,
Do rent
much of the
control.
growth that we're talking about is residential growth, which is a good thing for the tax base. And I hear people talking about, Market Basket, I go to Market Basket on a regular basis because it's so close to my house. But you know what? You also need land. You need large parcels of land. In our district, we had a supermarket. That supermarket is like a drop in the bucket geographically compared to the ones that they're building today, that was being used for the registry headquarters now. But under this lowest tax rate, apartments are going to see an 8.24% increase. Single-family houses are going to see a 3.41% increase. And the commercial will also see a 3.85% increase. So here we are again, same conversation over and over again.
The reason why
but I just wanna
supermarkets are
say,
much
small
bigger is so
business
that they can force out
exemption on
smaller
that formally and informally
supermarkets.
report,
That's
could be
not
adopted
like
today,
that's not
and
a
could be
spontaneous
adopted in the future
thing,
if
George.
there's an appetite here for that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Counselor. So, seeing nobody else. Okay, nobody else. Counselor King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm inclined to support 267. 269 is the lowest residential tax rate. But before I take my vote and make my final decision, I just want to ask through the chair to the administration, if you can walk us through the difference. I know Councilor Russell made some statements. If you can walk us through the difference between 267 and 269 on this as it relates to single-family, three-family condos, commercial. One of the things I've tried to do is take a look at, as close as we can be in terms of equity for increasing things. So through the chair to the administration, if you could kind of share that before I land on my final decision of 269 or 267 through the chair.
Through the chair to you, Councilor King. So your question was regarding what's the
So we have
difference
267
between-
and 269, yeah. If you could walk myself and the public through, the differentiation and what it means.
Absolutely. So if we refer to page 10 of the packet, this is going to list the average single-family and also the average commercial property value, okay? And if we go with line 267, the residential tax rate is going to be $13 and it's awfully small up here, but it's $13.30 per thousand. To put that in perspective, FY25's tax rate, residential, is $13.19. On the commercial side, the commercial tax rate will be $28.98 per thousand. And relative to FY25's commercial tax rate, it was $28.61. If we move down from line 267 and we go to the very bottom, that changes the residential tax rate from $13.30 down to $13.28. It's a 2-cent difference. We look at the commercial component, and the difference is from $28.98 per thousand to $29.06 per thousand. So
Sorry,
it's 8 cents per thousand.
my eyes went off. Where is that again?
That's line 269, and if you're on page 10, it's going to be under the column listed as CIP tax rate.
Okay.
So 8 cents on the commercial side, 2 cents on the residential side. And that does not change throughout any of our tables, obviously. Line 267 and 269 will have those same tax rates. But if you were to look at the difference between the residential and the residential tax bill at line 267.
You missed it. They're talking about tens of dollars.
Roughly $188.
Big whoop, Christian. I want to like you. I want to like you. I don't like what you're doing right
versus
now.
$180. So an $8 difference.
So while I was on my little sojourn there,
and you were looking at the commercial
I grabbed
tax bill, the average
this
tax
ridiculously
bill for commercial
large box.
$1,000
New Worcester Structure. Check it out.
That print is huge.
The
I
print
like that.
is huge and it's really clean.
It being $1,000.
Yeah, the print is so big. Awesome.
So you're looking at
So
roughly.
Those are available right now. BillTrainer.BigCartel.com, and I will also be at the Punk Rock Flea Market on Sunday at the White Eagle. Very excited about that.
So again, if we go to a 3-family, I would refer you to page.
They are bold candy.
I would go to page 24 out of this packet. And if you go to line 267,
You got them from the same place at the hot dog safari.
you would see roughly
Got the hookup.
a $307 increase.
Well, it wasn't much of a hookup because they.
For line 267.
Still charging full price.
No,
The tax
yeah,
rate
obviously.
would be
It's
$13.30.
because they got bought out
If you move down
by a company that sounds like it's in the chair company universe.
$13.28 per thousand. That would
Tekka
lower
shirts?
Yeah,
the
Tekka
average
shirts.
3-family tax bill from the $300.
Is anybody else watching Chair Company?
Dude, I watched all of it. It's amazing.
I'm gonna watch it again.
It's so good.
For the year.
Unfucking believable.
Per 100.
It is
Or total?
like
The total value of the.
it's such an elevation of his name.
100,000. What is
It's like
You're through the chair to you, Council.
all the like montages of him doing his computer research were just like the best thing ever. Where he's just like frantically scrolling. Yeah.
Tax bill for a 3-family. So if we go to line
Amazing.
267, the average
What a program.
single-family tax bill increase for the average value of a
Whoop.
3-family is going to go up roughly $307. That's
You
on
must
page
dance for the
24
washing gods.
Dance.
for a 3-family.
total?
And then if you go from line 267 and you go down to the last
Last
line,
time, maybe the last time we
269,
played
the
Fortnite,
difference would be $12
I was
less. It would be
did we show this the footage of this on this program before?
For a 3-family.
I was on acid and I was just dancing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And I was going. I just went through dance and I was just spinning the controller around and just like doing the dance.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Katie had to protect
Before we
me.
do the line items, we just
So I
have
was
to
just
take an
dancing.
order.
Katie's good at
So the
Fortnite.
first vote we're gonna
He's
take
getting
is
nasty.
on
I keep trying to
8I
convince her
and
to
8H.
do
Eight
a
I
twit.
is the senior double tax exemption. which
She's,
we
We
give every
should.
year
she's a
to
shit
council.
talker too.
And
I'd love
also
to-
the personal
I'd love to
property
play with
tax
you guys.
exemption, 8H.
Yeah, I can't convince her to get our camera yet.
Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Haji?
Like it's not so
King?
bad.
Yes.
Councilor Merrill
Not so
Carlson?
bad.
Councilor Nguyen? Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor
You get to the
Russell?
point where you don't even think
Councilor
about it.
Toomey?
Yes.
Right.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, we have item, now we have adopting the roll call. The
I'm doing
budget
crazy
adjustments
shit on
for
here.
8F and 8G.
Not thinking about how I look.
And, okay, so we have.
Yeah, I don't think about it even a little bit.
Recommendation is 267, which is an increase of $13.30 for the residential tax rate, not an increase, but the rate is 13.30 per thousand. And also for business, it'd be 28.98 per thousand. which
Speaking of
is
being on Twitch,
3.56% increase and 3.
12/27, the Saturday
Chair, point of order.
night
Could you
after
also
Christmas.
take Council Bergman's line item after
Our live
Council
show
King's?
at Hunchback Gallery
Just to
for
have it
the
on
month of
the record.
December is going to be a live
as long
D&D
as it doesn't
show
pass.
Oh, nice.
that we
Are
will
allowed,
hopefully
if
also
Council
broadcast on
King's
Twitch.
passes, Are we allowed to just take a roll call on Council Bergman's order?
Sick. That's cool.
Or not? Okay.
I'm going to
Okay, so
DM
we'll
it,
take a
I'm gonna
roll
DM
call
for the
on
first
line
time.
item 2,
Oh,
6.
nice. First time?
Yep. And we get
Along
some,
with
yeah, we got a
8F
great
and 8G, Councilor Bergman?
cast. Sean is going to be in town again, which I'm excited
Mr.
about. He
Chairman,
was supposed to be in
I-
Houston,
that
but now
last
they're going to be
statement
back in
got me
time.
confused.
So 267, if this
Matty
fails.
T's gonna
we'll
play.
go down to
Nice.
269.
No, I understand that. but there
we
were
got some great
other items
comedians.
that were just suggested.
So
Well, I thought you were
everyone
referring
should
to
come
line
hang out at
2,
that.
you're wrong. I thought you were
I'm
referring to line
referring to the
2.
motion that Council
we'll
Bergman.
probably raise some
No, I
money for
understand
something,
Councilor Hatchie is
or
saying
we'll
that.
just sell
I
cheap
said-
tickets.
yeah,
But
to clarify,
it'll be a
8F and
cheap
8G
cheap
are
date,
the budget adjustments that
one
we have to
time.
go before the
Come
levy.
hang.
So we're doing
So
that first.
BYOB.
We're not voting on
Yeah, oh, okay, I screwed
267.
that. That was my
Okay.
mistake. Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you. That helps.
So what are we voting on now? We voting on,
We're going to vote on 8G and 8.
Last time I saw Matty T was at his work, and he was running around the
8F
parking
and
lot
8G.
with a hammer,
So there are budget adjustments before the line item.
and he was screaming.
Loves doing that.
He came up to the
Yeah, I
he came up to the
should've
car and he
done
went,
that
"This is
before
a
we
safe
go
space."
to the tax rate.
Like shoved the hammer
Take those
inside the car.
collectively?
I was like, "Yep."
Council Bergman?
Yes.
One of
Councilor
the best
Calorio?
guys in the
Yes.
whole world.
Councilor Haji?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilor
Yeah,
Carlson?
I love that dude.
Councilor Nguyen?
Me and him
Yes.
had a short-lived, the best band that Worcester has ever had, besides his other band, Face
Yes.
Paint. Variable Man, our
Yeah.
synth
Now
pop
we're on
band,
the tax rate,
Yeah.
2019 to 2019.
which is line 267.
Great band.
Back
Roll call.
back
Council
before
Bergman?
No.
the world fell
Councilor
apart.
Calorio?
No.
Councilor Haji?
No.
Councilor King?
No.
Councilor Merrill Carlson? Councilor Nguyen? Councilor Ojeda?
No.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
no,
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. So that fails 3-7.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to line 269. Roll call.
Had some
Councilor
great
Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor
Eric
Calorio?
Yankas Franco
Yes.
insanity at
Councilor
shows
Yes.
lately.
Councilor King?
Yes.
So
Councilor Merrill
funny, dude.
Carlson?
He
Councilor Nguyen? Councilor Ojeda?
at our spelling bee
Councilor Pasillo?
at,
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
a couple
Yes.
weeks ago
Councilor
at
Toomey?
Hunchback Gallery.
Yes.
We asked him
And
to
Mayor
play the word burglar
Yes. Okay.
and gave him nothing else besides that
Motion
this
to
guy's named the
reconsider.
word burglar and this is what he does.
Motion to reconsider?
And he
Councilor Bergman?
he
No.
entered the
Councilor
show
Calorio?
with
No.
a song that
Councilor
he
Haji?
made up
No.
that
Councilor
day.
King?
No.
A
Councilor Merrill
full
Carlson?
cabaret
Councilor
style
Nguyen?
song
Councilor
that he
Ojeda?
made up that
Wow,
day.
Pasillo?
that's
Councilor
awesome.
Russell?
It was
Councilor Toomey?
unbelievable.
Oh.
And Mayor Petty?
No.
And then at Hot Dog
We have
last
a
week,
couple motions from Councilor Bergman and Councilor Russell.
he and
We'll take those collectively.
the comedian
Those in
Gabby
favor?
Hodges
I'm sorry.
had
Roll
an
call.
eggnog
Councilor
shot
Bergman?
contest.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And after they
King?
drank the
Yes.
entire bottle of
Councilor
eggnog,
Carlson?
we
Councilor
brought
Nguyen?
out a
Councilor
bottle of
Ojeda?
half and
Yes.
half to keep the
Councilor
game
Pasillo?
going,
Yes.
and
Councilor
they
Russell?
kept going
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
and drank
Mayor
like
Petty?
half a bottle, half a fucking quart of half and half.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so gross.
gross.
We have-
It was
sorry, we have to
fucking
file,
crazy.
B, C, and D.
They
Next item
both
to file,
immediately
B, C,
threw
and
up
D.
after the show.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mauro Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Go on petitions.
So, Mr. Mayor, 9A, we're going to send that to Public Works. Council Russell, is that okay?
Okay, we have
Yes, that
9.
should go to committee.
Say that again? Council Russell, what'd you do? Oh, you want in committee, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the staff is not ready to act on it, otherwise I would have
Okay.
passed otherwise.
So 9A, we're going to 9B, we're going to refer to Public Works Committee. 9C and 9G, we're going to refer to Traffic and Parking Committee. If there's anybody here for any of these petitions, just let me know. Okay, so I take those collectively, roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mauro Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty.
Yes. We have 9H, refer to the Law Department for an answer on the open meeting law complaint form. All those in roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King? Council Mauro
Yes.
Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda? Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, we have appointments. 10.2A, recommend the appointment of Jennifer Guzman Gafor to the Advisory Commission on Latino Affairs. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King? Council Mauro Carlson?
Yes.
Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. This is a 10.7A, recommend adoption of an order to grant exemptions to 3 snowplow contractors who are also municipal employees. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mauro Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty.
10.11A, transmitting information communication relative to the selection of local street resurfacing and rehabilitation projects for fiscal year 27-28. We'll send that to Public Works. Council Russell?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd ask that we send it to Public Works and we also vote to reconsider afterwards.
Motion to send to Public Works. Those in roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mauro Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, we are on transmitting information communication relative.
Reconsideration, Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry, reconsideration? Yep.
So Bergman?
No.
Council
Why?
Calorio?
No.
Council Agia?
No.
Council King?
No.
Council Mauro Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
No.
Council Pasillo?
No.
Council Russell?
No.
Council Toomey?
No.
And Mayor Petty.
No. We have transmitting information communication relative to the proposed Purple Hat and Gold Star memorials. Council King?
What item is it? .19A, transmitting information communication relative to the proposed Purple Heart and Gold Star memorials. Mayor Petty.
I'd just like to thank the manager and his team, Rob Antonelli and Parks and everyone who was involved with this, and our veterans agents, I should thank them too, right? So, especially them. I know this is something that came up, probably, I think I might have filed this several years ago. I know Auburn had a nice one, we talked about doing one in Worcester. And I remember, people remember Joe Dusso. He was a Korean War vet who passed away last year. This is his #1 priority. I know he called to see, I think when he was in the hospital, ready to pass away. and to call the day before that week to ask for where was this in the process. So I think this is a pretty important endeavor that we've undertaken here. I'm not sure if anybody wants to describe what this is going to look like or what, and just take maybe a few, I think it's worth to take the time, Mr. Manager, to talk about this.
Mr. Manager.
Yeah, through the Chair of the Council, I just want to thank the Department and Division of Veterans Affairs. They've been very dedicated on this particular memorial here. They've been working hand in hand with the Parks Department and the veterans community to try to put together these hearings, to hear from the veterans, hear from the community. And so they put in a lot of work. So I want Dr. Robinson and our interim commissioner of Health and Human Services, Alex Arriaga, who actually this work started with him. And then he passed it along to Dr. Robinson, who's been working hand in hand to try to move this forward. So I'll turn it over to them so they can talk a little bit about these memorials in terms of what we're doing, what the steps are that we're moving forward, and what's next. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. If you could please just state your name and title for the public before you begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the chair, my name is Alex Arriaga, and my title is Interim Commissioner of Health and Human Services.
Through the chair, I'm Dr. Joe Robinson, Director of Veteran Services for the City of Worcester.
Thank you.
Through the chair, as the mayor said, well, first of all, thank you so much, Mr. Manager, for your leadership on this and your commitment to the veterans here in the City of Worcester. Thank you to the council, Mr. Mayor, and the council on also their support for the residents. Not just the veterans themselves, but also their family members. So I really appreciate that. During my tenure as Director of Veteran Services, I was humbled and really honored to have met Joe Genduso, who was both a Marine Corps combat Korean veteran, who was a Purple Heart recipient, and actually was a City of Worcester police officer, police detective, retired. He had incredible energy. He was in his 90s and would check in periodically with me and I believe with the mayor's office with regards to the Purple Heart.
Nice.
So that energy
there are good
that
drones.
he was very infectious, and he really was an advocate for those veterans in the City of Worcester, just around the Purple Heart, but also in his engagement in the community. So we set out to look at potential opportunities for this, and there was a lot of commentary internally as to the purpose. The purpose was to honor those both who had received the Purple Heart and also, for that matter, the families, the Gold Star families, who then are a result of that ultimate sacrifice. So I don't want to go into too much of the details. I actually want to relay that in a particular honor to our new Director of Veteran Services, Dr. Joe Robinson.
Dr. Robinson.
Thank you. To the chair, to the council, city manager, Mr. Mayor, taking on this task is a deep honor of mine, being a retired Marine, and I never got a chance to meet Mr. Giudenzo, but I've heard so much about him at every event we've hold in the city for veteran services. And we hear a lot from the veterans that they just thank the city for advocating for veterans. And it's been a tough road as far as gathering information, putting this all together, but I think we are now in the first phase, and we're going to be having a hearing on December 22nd at 6:30 p.m., a public hearing to get some feedback from the community on this project. We haven't put together any numbers yet, so that's going to be part of phase 2 after we have this initial hearing, just in case we have to make any revisions on what we already have designed. We work with Department of Public Works on a particular design on the back of the Worcester Common. So we're looking forward to having this hearing on December 22nd, see what kind of feedback we get from the community.
Mr. Mayor.
Excuse me, Department of Parks.
Mr. Mayor.
Parks and Rec?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Robinson, Alex, thank you, for putting this together, work brought me into knowing the Parks Department. Something we talked about well before you arrived here.
And I think the Veteran Services here in City of Worcester does an excellent job, and your whole team does. And the way you promote veterans, you never give up, and, which is, you know, some challenges, and you do a pretty good job addressing each year, try to make things bigger and better, more prominent here in the city. And I think this is something, Mr. Manager, we've talked about several times to get this off the ground, and I'm glad you're moving forward. I would love, you're gonna have pictures and everything up at the 22nd? You're gonna have?
Yes, sir, we will.
Renderings and things?
Presentation and pictures.
Yeah, so I just, make this nice, and I don't have to tell you to make it nice, so.
We will.
And so I just want to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to this. And what do you think, about a year away before you get this up and running? What do you think, if it goes through the parks?
To the chair, to the council, Mr. Manager and Mayor, it depends on funding. That's what it comes down to. So
Yeah.
I like to expedite these things and get them done as quick as possible, but it depends on the funding. And we will do everything in our power to put the pieces together, work with whomever we decide as far as vendors to get this thing done.
Yeah, I remember going to Mr. Genduso, he grabbed me, went out to Auburn, we looked at the design that was done there, which was really nice, and I think we can make ours even better, I hope. And,
yes, sir.
So, but this is important to the veterans. We honor our veterans every year here, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, pretty much every day throughout the year. So I want to thank you and your team. Look forward to this getting up and running. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just quickly, I know I spoke with some young folks that are watching tonight, the entire council meeting, and for their civic studies. If you could just give context and significance to the young people that are watching and others regarding the Purple Heart and Gold Star Memorial, what it means, what the sacrifice was, et cetera, for the folks that are watching who need a little more information to help them understand.
To the chair, to the council, to those that served, and some of those that didn't serve but may have had a family member that served, the Purple Heart is one of our highest honors in the nation. It is awarded for anyone injured, killed, combat action, or passes away from injuries as a result of a combat and conflict serving the United States of America. And the Gold Star Award for the Gold Star family, excuse me, that is a recognition of those who have lost those loved ones in combat as a result. So it's very dear to anyone that served, anyone that has a family member. And we just want to pay homage to those, and those that sacrifice, the most. I like to say that some gave all and some gave, and we're recognizing these individuals that gave all for the freedoms of this country.
And if you could just share for the folks, for their educational purposes, the Gold Star, what that means.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Robinson.
To the chair, to the council, city manager, Gold Star families, we work with a number of Gold Star families here in the city of Worcester, and it means a great deal of them. I don't want to mention any names, but the Gold Star families, we really work hand in hand with them and just recognize all of those that have passed on. The Gold Star families are recognized because they have endured those losses. They're honored across the nation for those sacrifices, for those losses. I don't know, Alex, you want to add much more to that?
So I'll just add a little bit more around how is it defined. So yes, it's those immediate families which are parents or step-parents if they were living at the time of the loss, children, stepchildren, grandparents, and it really is a recognition.
Why are they dancing around saying what it is? Gold Star families are
I don't know
who had somebody
who were lost
killed in the military
as a result of their service to our nation.
There you go. Now he's saying it.
And that's what qualifies, that there is a process that you can actually register as a Gold Star family with the federal government. And there is some proof that needs to be relayed, usually in the form of formal Department of Defense document for casualty. Now, with regards to the Purple Heart, I'll just go a little bit into that, is there's been expansion of that. Now, that medal was originally, it has its history with General George Washington, and that's why it has his face. It's a gold and purple medal with the face of General George Washington and our first president. It is near and dear to me, particularly because, as Dr. Robinson said, I gave some. I am actually a Purple Heart recipient. I was involved in a rocket explosion during my tenure in Iraq, for which I, received, I could say received, but was subject to a traumatic brain injury for which I had to recover. Now, there are others who I have served with, and those that I know that weren't so lucky. And those are the, those are the names, and those are the people for which I live, that, I may be of service to others and, continue to serve. Although my time was cut short in the military, I try to serve those who have served this country and by extension, their families. It is very important that we do both, because when somebody serves, their family also serves along with them. It is so timely and unique that we're going to be looking at these as a packet, that we're going to do the best job we can to also place them close to each other. It's very intentional. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, I just wanted to follow up on the Gold Star question and explain to those that are listening how it actually started. Gold Stars, most people don't know that it used to be right after or during World War I, families used to display on a flag a blue star. And then once, for every service member that served in the household. And once the service member passed on, they changed it to a gold star. So
I'm starting any Scrivener heads in the chat.
Gold star displayed.
It's a word
display
processor.
that you have lost.
I thought you meant Bartleby.
No. Why would you be a Bartleby Scrivener fan?
Big time. It had way too big of an influence on me.
Something deep around long history.
I now would prefer not to do anything.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you both for your service for us. On
No, I've never used Scrivener.
Quality department.
I hate printers, man.
In the city for our veterans. We always have.
It's nerd stuff, but it's like it's got like a built-in Zotero style thing where you can, like, all of your source content you can archive into it and source, and like you can have two documents open at the same time. It's fucking cool. Yeah, it's sick.
And that is that you serve along with your family.
Much better than Google Docs.
And during a time when
Which I just
the
am getting
values
so
of this
annoyed
country,
by.
Are being questioned. No better time than now to bring both of those together in symbolism, in space, and in honor. So I want to thank everyone that was a part of this. I really appreciate the transparency and the authenticity. As a brother of a retired U.S. Major, combat veteran, artillery, we know that the costs are seen and unseen for family and otherwise. But we definitely appreciate that, and I look forward to this coming to fruition. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let's send that to Christian. Do you have my agenda? Yeah. No? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say that to Veterans and Parks. Recreation? Roll call.
Counselor Bergman?
Yes.
Counselor Calorio?
Yes.
Counselor Haji?
Yes.
Counselor King?
Yes.
Counselor Merrill Carlson? Counselor Nguyen? Counselor Ojeda?
Yes.
Counselor Pasillo?
Yes.
Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Next, we have finance items, 10.35A through I, 10.37A. Motion, Council Ojeda.
On E, I just need to recuse myself.
Okay, so take all items except E. And E, recommend adoption resolution to finally accept to expend the grants of $300,000 to the Mass Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So you can recuse yourself. Oh, no, you can stay for this, then recuse yourself. So take, except 10.35E. Roll call.
Counselor Bergman?
Yes.
Counselor Calorio?
Yes.
Counselor Haji?
Yes.
Counselor King?
Yes.
Counselor Merrill Carlson?
Come up here, girlfriend.
Counselor Ojeda?
Yes.
Counselor Pasillo?
Yes.
Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, we will take 10.35E. Council Wilson Ojeda has recused himself. Roll call.
Counselor Bergman?
Yes.
Counselor Calorio?
Yes.
Counselor Haji?
Yes.
Counselor
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Counselor Merrill Carlson? Counselor Nguyen? Counselor Ojeda recused himself. Counselor Pasillo?
Yes.
Counselor Russell? Counselor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. 11A through 11C, motions to adopt. Roll call.
Counselor Bergman?
Yes.
Counselor Calorio?
Yes.
Counselor Haji?
Yes.
Counselor King?
Yes.
Counselor Merrill Carlson? Counselor Nguyen? Counselor Ojeda?
Yes.
Counselor Pasillo?
Yes.
Counselor Russell?
Yes.
Counselor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, we are on orders. Request the city manager provide council at the next meeting with a report outlining the impact the U.S. Department of Housing urban cuts and permanent supportive housing will have in the city. Said the report should include how many permanent supportive housing units are expected not to be renewed, how many residents of those units are expected to lose permanent housing, and how these cuts will impact homelessness numbers in the city of Worcester. Council Haji.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I understand that the city manager is already having these discussions with our partners on the ground. They're on the COC and others. But I just wanted to outline a few concerns that go beyond the funding issue, which it's a big avalanche coming our way. Hopefully the data will be broken down by the city of Worcester. The continuum of care is the funnel through which the federal government gives us the planning and coordination and housing dollars for chronically homeless individuals who also have a disability, individuals and families. And so we know that throughout Worcester County, there are over 700 permanent supportive housing units. The number for Worcester is probably a little bit less than that, but it's quite significant. The reason why this is significant is that these adult households and family units are in these units because they have chronically homeless status, and they also have a disability. And so we're not just talking about unsheltered adults, we're talking about family units where one or more member of that unit meets one of those requirements. They're called permanent supportive housing because they are permanent. The reason being that these folks need supportive services attached to their housing. Their rent is kept stable for many years unless they move out and they achieve self-sufficiency. The reason why we have a smaller number of these units is because people tend to stay in them for a long time, and rightly so. They need a lot of support throughout their lives. What's at stake with the federal administration saying essentially that we cannot use more than 30% of the dollars that the Worcester County continuum of care gets and every other continuum of care. No more than 30% on permanent supportive housing. Instead, what they wanted originally to do is transition people to transitional housing. Transitional housing is a 2-year program. Not only that, but at the end of the 2 years, you have to move on. So in other words, if you're chronically disabled, if you have a disability, if you're a family with kids that meet those requirements, or if you're an adult who actually has those conditions, you cannot stay in this housing for more than 2 years. That's transitional housing. Where folks go from there, well, that's up to the specific community to figure that out. And as we know, we haven't figured that out because we can go into a million directions as to why that is, both from the federal and the state governments. What my concern is, even though the Trump administration removed or rescinded the application for communities to apply for this funding abruptly before the court case that came as a result of nonprofits throughout the state, throughout the country, as well as the Attorney General's office, without telling people what exactly what's going to happen. The concern that I have is that between now and May, when these programs have to pay their staff, they have to keep folks' rents paid, we have no idea how these things are going to happen. So a few things can happen. Folks are going to have to get evicted who have these housing units, and nonprofits that are funded by these programs are going to have their staff laid off. That's because the dollars just are not there anymore. So we don't know what's going to happen with the new application for funding, but what we do know, as I have said over and over again on this council floor, is that we have a hidden avalanche of a humanitarian crisis that extends to unsheltered people that we see tucked under the bridges, under the overpasses, who get moved from location to location. And included in this population are also families with disabilities, literal family units that have kids who meet these requirements. And we don't often talk about those populations and that community because we think that families are typically taken care of by the shelter system. It's no longer the case. The state of Massachusetts, as we have known for the last 6 months, is clearly and very deliberately diluting the right to shelter, which means that we have both chronically homeless individuals and we have families who simply have gotten evicted, displaced, unable to keep their housing, now struggling to find permanent supportive housing or simply affordable, healthy housing. Under these conditions, it is important for the community, Mr. Manager, for you to share these conversations and the landscape that we are going to be facing. The Trump administration has made it very clear, in addition to cutting funding for permanent supportive housing and doing away with the Housing First model, which is a data-based, proven model that actually works to keep people safe, safely housed and stably housed, they are attaching inhumane conditions that we know by research, by practice, and by the experiences of those that are unsheltered, they don't work. And some of those things that really concern me that are outlined, or that at least were outlined in this application, have to do with local law enforcement, municipalities collecting data on whether law enforcement will enforce encampment disbandment. So that's one of the requirements. So street outreach, which the city of Worcester does, along with our partners on the ground, are going to have to report whether or not they are using law enforcement to disband encampments. So there is a clear collaboration and a clear requirement for service providers now to add law enforcement actions against unhoused folks in the mix. We need to understand what the policy of the City of Worcester's department is going to be, and we need to have that in writing. I'm sure that we have talked many times on the City Council floor about the 14-day policy in relation to encampments. I'm not super clear what that's in writing. There needs to be an understanding. The Trump administration says the only way that you could house people in transitional housing programs is if they agree to be subject to drug requirements and if they agree to be forced into treatment. Both things do not work. It takes trust and it takes work for people who suffer with substance abuse or disorders and or mental health issues to get to the proper programs. And I do also want to say that those programs don't exist because we're losing beds left and right. I am concerned that there's an immigration requirement to the dollars attached to these programs. That means that at least in the previous application that was just rescinded, the Trump administration has made it very clear that anyone who has an immigration status whether they're here as an asylum seeker, whether they're here under some sort of legal status, that our service providers are going to have the data reported to them. And the intention, of course, is that those folks are not worthy and should not be receiving services. Another thing that really concerns me is the elimination of anything having to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know, and I don't think we talk enough about this, that most folks, specifically adult unsheltered people, who are mostly affected by unsheltered homelessness, meaning the folks that you see out on the street, are mostly in the Black and Latino community. This is not a fault of their own. It's a direct derivative of the systemic racism that informs who becomes homeless and who gets services. What the Trump administration is saying is that there shouldn't be any sort of requirement that gives those folks the ability and the priority to get services, which is how we prioritize specifically equity in homelessness. I am really concerned both about how the city of Worcester and the expectations that the city council or the next city council is going to have, Mr. Manager, that you're going to have on how to manage this avalanche. I don't think our nonprofit sector has the ability to manage on its own. I have no idea what the governor or the secretary of the Office of Housing Livable Communities intends to do to support our community. What I would like to find out is that when you have these conversations with the service providers, that you present to council what I have asked now for months, which is an emergency plan to both inform your lawmakers, your advisors, this council that's coming up in the next 2 years. What is it that we need to do to meet this crisis that we have on our hands? I need to, I think, stress the fact that that plan is going to have to come up with some solutions. What kind of dollars is the city of Worcester going to be willing to put up to support this beyond CDBG, beyond shelter monies, which we know is going away? I think we need to understand the role of the police department. There needs to be a clear memorandum of understanding and a clear written policy that if the city of Worcester
Can you wrap up the comments, though?
and the police department, I think I'm entitled to a second 5, aren't I?
You're well in, you're past that.
Okay, well, can I ask for a suspension of the rules then, because this is important?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Roll call.
No, they're gonna say no. They're gonna vote no
Councilor
on this.
Bergman,
Yes.
Councilor Calorio, Councilor Haji,
Yes.
Councilor King,
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson, Councilor Nguyen, Councilor Ojeda,
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo,
Yes.
Councilor Russell,
Yes.
Councilor Toomey,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So in short, I'll close here since I'm going over time. I have outlined the problem. I have outlined the way that it will impact our residents, our neighbors, and what I'm asking for specifically in terms of tangible things that this city council should consider is for a plan that the current community of providers, along with you, Mr. Manager, will have to manage this humanitarian crisis that our residents are going to face. And also attached to that, what exactly you are going to instruct your police department to do if the federal government is mandating the local COC to have requirements both in terms of racial profiling, discrimination, immigration status, as well as mandating people to go into programs that they are not ready to go to. We need to understand also what is it that the police department is going to do in terms of if the directive from the federal government is to both report immigration status, but also disband any encampments that are formed as a result of people not having anywhere to go. And lastly, it would be great if this hearing were to happen in the Public Health Committee, whatever iteration that is in the next City Council, so that the public and the City Council can truly understand what the role of the lawmakers and the city is in managing this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. So send that to the manager. Prior to doing so, Councilor King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We ought not to be moving in any direction towards criminalizing the homeless. we ought not to be moving in the direction of any sort of reduction in services, wraparound services and the like, for this population of folks that are unsheltered and disabled and families and individuals. I'd like to sign on to this. We're in the midst of a federal policy shift. We know that moving forward,
I'm hungry.
The city manager is in the process of having some discussion. So before I continue, I just want to question.
I got no plan.
Through the chair to the manager, to get an update on what
Have you gone to Bonchon yet?
what work is going
No,
on by your administration, through the chair, and with the private sector.
It's
Yeah, through the chair to the council.
it's much worse
I
than
meet on a
Bonchon
monthly
used to
basis
be,
with providers to
but
discuss
Okay.
still
our
extremely
challenges
good.
related to the in-house, the shelter system, and trying to come up with solutions.
All right.
And these providers are, again, very flexible and trying to
Bonchon.
figure out ways. We're looking at our resources and which ways we can be adaptable to some of those demands. We're trying to put together.
It's like fried chicken, right?
We had a
It's Korean
consultant
fried
that came
chicken, yeah.
forward from
Yeah.
Rutgers University and BU, who provided a full
They have
assessment
some
of what's
other
happening in our
dishes too that are
community
really
and
good.
what are
They
the
have
numbers that we need
bulgogi
to reach.
fries that are
And so we want to
fucking
take that
awesome.
assessment, create some
Ooh,
strategies,
that sounds
put that
great.
together.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges, and that's what the council is alluding to, is that the federal government keeps throwing different curveballs through the situation, which is causing us to then pivot our ability to strategize, especially around the funding, right? The council mentioned some of the policies related to if you want access to these dollars, what are the type of enforcements you need to do to have access to those dollars? That throws things into the mix, right? We as a city, we don't take that approach, but then if you want access to those dollars, then you have to take that approach. So that's something that we have to navigate collectively with our providers, because again, our families, our individuals in our neighborhoods and our residents, they need some support. So we need to figure out that funding solution to be able to support them. We're looking at all of our current dollars that we receive through HUD, whether it's ESG
Bill,
dollars,
something
whether
that
it's
Patel
broadband
said and
dollars,
the manager's
whether
speaking
it's
to now that
hallmark
I
dollars.
didn't
I
fully
mean, you name
understand.
it, we're
Is it that
looking- we're
every
looking to
person
develop
who
and
is going
find
to
ways
receive
in
some
which
sort
we
of
can
supportive
stretch that,
housing has
or
to
think
go through
differently of how do we reallocate
treatment
those dollars
screening
to
program?
our current providers. So I look forward to bringing that plan to the
Yeah,
council
like that's a
in the new year.
change.
I know it's been
What
taking
if
a
they
little
don't
bit
have an
longer.
addiction problem?
The committee,
Right.
like I said, we meet monthly, and there's an
Okay, so I didn't miss it. It's just that dumb.
Yeah.
All right.
We're trying to also identify KPIs that
Yeah.
we can measure. over
It's
time. So we're
yeah,
moving
it's
forward
just
with the council. I know that it's an urgency.
I didn't know about
As
any of
quickly as
this
possible to try to
any of
come
this
up with these
stuff.
solutions and these
but-
strategies moving forward.
I went down a rabbit hole
Thank
over
you,
the
Mr.
weekend,
Chairman.
man,
This
on the
federal
history
shift
of
is a
dealing with
shift from the
homeless
housing first
populations in the
approach
U.S., starting with the Reagan era.
to, as
Oh,
mentioned,
yeah.
housing.
Like the Reagan administration, like they had a plan for
That's
dealing with
temporary.
the homeless, but they
Housing that doesn't
started a
have all the
census.
service provision
But they would only build
necessary
people
for folks
who,
to sustain.
like a local community
and move
couldn't put in
themselves
numbers for people that weren't either
Mr. Chairman, I know that
alcoholics
we're talking about millions of dollars statewide
or dealing with
that
mental
are
health
potentially
issues.
at risk.
Like
Yeah.
if you
Upwards
lost
of
your house
90
because there was
million
double-digit
across the
unemployment,
state
you
when
didn't
it comes
count.
to this
Like
funding.
you actually couldn't be added to the
We know
census,
that there's
or
going to be more.
so it created this whole
encampments. There
narrative
will be
nationally
more
that
encampments
the
in
overwhelming
the city
majority of
Worcester
people
and beyond.
facing
What are we going
homelessness
to do?
issues of
Mr.
housing
Chairman, I know that
all have
Boston and Cambridge have
Wow.
engaged
Fuck.
in litigation
That's
regarding these
that's
cases.
evil.
Yeah, no, it's wild because
care
but like the way it
funds,
was being framed is that you still hear that.
and
It's like when you
I'm not
hear
asking
someone like in
specifics,
law
but
enforcement
have we
talk, well, we
explored
need to work on the
any sort
addiction
of
side of things, or it's a fentanyl problem.
litigious
Like
approach?
they're not entirely talking out of their ass. Like they're referring to data that's still
Yeah, our continuum
comes
of
from
care
the
has
federal
been involved
government
in a lot of these
that
discussions
highlights
statewide.
addiction over
Right.
It's
economics.
extremely involved. CMHA is the one, Central Mass Housing Funds is the agency that oversees this continuum of care, and all the providers and partners work in collaboration and provide referrals to the COC. So she's been.
George Seption, what
full
cheeses do you
day
use to
out.
make your mac and
We
cheese?
engage in conversations.
Oh,
with
mac and
COCs.
cheese sounds fucking good.
The Attorney General of
Wow.
the state of Massachusetts, inclusive with many communities and also other states, filed that lawsuit.
Do I have mac and
Collectively,
cheese?
everybody's
I'll go
involved in
fucking
that.
crazy on that shit if I
And so
do.
we're hoping that there's some results to that, or so at least put a stop to it. But, right now that's currently at play, where our Attorney General of the state of Massachusetts, in partnership with the COCs, is moving forward on that.
Yes, the Attorney General did join the suit along with 19 other states, Washington, D.C. as well. We also know that Boston and Cambridge have mounted their own challenges this year as well with regards to the Trump administration, Mr. Chairman. I'd certainly like some communication from the city manager, ruling out or ruling in such an approach by way of a motion. This is having a direct impact on the city. Through the chair to the administration, if you could just share to the public, I made it very clear, we're going to see more encampments if this continues to move forward. What are the potential impacts in addition to the criminalization you
Cheddar and
mentioned?
Parmesan.
Potential criminalization
Oh, yeah.
that you foresee based on all the communication, all of the work your administration has been doing in this regard.
Developing this mix for a few years ago.
Yeah, through the chair to the council.
Half
I think the
mild
impact is
cheddar.
significant. We're talking about
So
individuals,
3 parts
hundreds
mild cheddar,
hundreds of
Mhm.
units,
1 part sharp cheddar,
hundreds
1
of
part
families and
smoked
individuals
Gruyere,
will be impacted.
and 1 part Jack,
Not only
Monterey
them, but
Jack.
also
Oh, wow.
case managers who provide the supportive services. So
Pretty
a lot of
psyched
these
on it.
agencies have
There's a lot going on there.
employee providing
It is,
social
but it
services to the individuals.
it balances.
It's a
Okay.
combination of
Yeah.
not only the housing is impacted.
Oh, hi,
the
Gussie.
individual itself
We got
is
Gussie in the
impacted,
chat.
The workforce is impacted,
You.
which again, at the end of the day, that impacts.
She likes to come rub her face on my stuff
be able to pay their
for a little
bills,
bit when she's hungry.
employed, et cetera. So it's a
And then if I
combination
pet her
of
too
things
much,
that
she
is
gets
happening. It's
angry with
increasing the
me.
number, that we're seeing in our city of the need for services. Are also
Gussie, it's kind of cold in here, huh?
some agencies are at capacity. And we're
Come here,
looking to
sweet
find
baby.
ways in which we can stretch that capacity with the partners as well. We're trying to turn every stone as much as possible to address the issue.
Oh, and you gotta put a ton of paprika in it too.
Ooh, get that smoky flavor.
When you make the sauce.
That's why we're putting our efforts in the resource center and trying to look to see if we can look at permanent, additional permanent shelter beds in the city.
Hi,
on
baby.
top of the current
That's gonna make my
overflow
eyes water
work that
really
we're trying to do.
bad.
But at the end of the day, the monies that come to support all of that work is starting to go away. And that's the area that we're trying to put our efforts to think creatively, think more collaboratively, think more about partnerships and ways that we can stretch those
Thanks,
numbers
Gussie.
so that we
Brendan,
continue to have the impact.
you're being
Thank you, Mr.
requested
Chairman.
to
I'm gonna
repeat the thing
encourage
about
your
Reagan.
administration to take a look at what Boston and Cambridge did.
Yeah, if one of you guys wants, I just sent you a link to the video that I found this in.
The
But
actions taken by our Attorney General on
during the
January
Reagan administration,
because you're right,
that's when we started
it is
like, a
critical.
big national
It is a
push on
crisis.
dealing with unhoused
Chairman,
populations.
it's winter. It's
The
cold
way the federal
outside.
government went about
We
it
don't have a
was
And
by having
since the
states
manager
and
brought up,
state and
can you
local
kinda give an
communities
update on where we are
census
with
their
things?
populations,
In terms of
but they would
sheltering,
only
it
accept
was very
they would only
cold
accept
outside.
people to be added to their census if they fell into a very specific number of buckets. It was either people dealing with addiction, drug addiction, alcoholism,
Over the past few years, the city of
or
Worcester,
mental health issues. Like if you just found yourself unhoused, like I think a lot of our people do because they're getting pushed out of housing because the economy doesn't work, or like jobs are disappearing in rapid numbers, which was very similar in the 80s. You weren't considered homeless by federal standards, but we still published those reports, and it as a result, it kind of created a narrative that still, it seems to, at least when I heard this, language that was used very similar from what you hear with cities like Worcester, especially when it comes to like not the right frontline people, like cops and whatnot. You know, like you'll hear people focusing on the need for addiction treatment or substance abuse treatment in general or mental health treatment over talking about. Say it, Brian. Thank you.
Why is in the city or the emergency communications?
I thought that was your cue to say rent stabilization.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
no, it was. I had never had heard that we did that in the 80s, but it makes sense as to why a lot of the tone that you get from local governments goes in that direction instead of really embracing a house first model that doesn't somehow get a wall put in front of it that involves. Geez, Gus.
We're having a neighborhood meeting tomorrow to discuss this location that we have.
I can't copy the link from my text to
I'll send it to you.
My computer for some reason.
Thank you, Mr.
The
Chairman.
one
Also
time I'm
get
not
a
able to do
report
that.
Back on the RV,
Hopefully that's the right video.
location what the communication and time frames were
And
around.
we're gonna take a swing.
It's a long video, by the way, and there's very little in here that'll probably be new to anybody in this chat because it's stuff that I feel like all of us have talked about a lot.
To the city,
That one
we are
section
the
in
second
particular
largest city in New England.
stood out like a sore thumb, and the whole thing is pretty well organized. If
Folks
you
are
felt
without,
the need to share with somebody who doesn't
take
understand,
place.
I don't know,
know
just
that we had
complains
some
about
issues, that was in the media,
unhoused
that happened
populations,
that
like,
were
probably a
extremely
good video to
concerning,
send to somebody who doesn't
regardless,
pay
folks
much
that were
attention.
unsheltered and
Really well organized.
you know, were put in peril. You know, and I'm not sure where folks are going to go. Through the chair to the administration, are the shelters at capacity? I saw numbers 180, 190, something like that. If you could share through the administration, through the chair, what our status is in terms of shelter capacity, and what sort of support are we going to be getting from, you know, the state, from Governor Haley and folks.
Through the chair to the council, yes, our current shelter network is at capacity. We currently worked right now with the current shelter provider, SMOC, to try to expand some of the current locations that they have, and we're working with the state to try to relieve a little bit of that and provide more spacing in that. That's why every year we try to seek a site so that we can create an overflow shelter, because we know that there's a need in the city for more shelter beds. The shelter system is at capacity. We work, and when we know that we need to have a shelter, an overflow shelter in the city, we reach out to the state. The state has been very gracious over the past few years to provide some funding and resources for us to be able to lift up these overflow shelters, and they've graciously, again, provided some funding this year again to us to be able to do that. However, unfortunately, the funding is not at the same limit that we received in the last 2 years. It's much lower, which means that the funding can only be stretched to a certain amount, so we can't serve the same amount of clients or individuals or residents in the city, same as what we've done in previous years. So that's a challenge that we're gonna have to face, and we're gonna try to face it right now in the next few months. But again, we're working many different angles to find ways, inclusive that we're working with regional network. There's other communities in the region that we've reached out to, working with CMHA to see if they can potentially lift up a shelter, whether it's a 10-bed or a 15-bed shelter as well. Most of them are very inclined to work with us and inclined to open them up. It's a matter of finding the right resources that could be able to fund these operations. But we've been not only working to try to provide and expand the network here in the city, but also we're working with regional partners to try to do that in the towns surrounding our city.
Thank you. And through the chair to administration, funding requests through HUD for the continuum of care matters. Do you have an idea when that deadline is? I understand it's mid-January or so. In addition to that, this is why I was talking about joining.
And the part about Reagan is it starts in the around the 7:50 mark for what we're doing. But yeah, it's not too long of a video. It's,
to be responsive. That's why
that channel does a pretty good job of weaving sort of like
share around those timelines.
culture references in, so it's a little bit more entertaining. You really could share it with just about anybody and keep probably getting booked. Next thing you know, they'll be even in red tube.
Going to dictate. So there's a lot that's already been kind of we've been hearing proactively from these agencies at the federal level. We've been seeing reports. We've been hearing, whether it's the president or others communicate that. So we're anticipating, based on those conversations and that information that we're receiving from federal agencies, of what potentially will look like come January 31st. And so that's where I think the Attorney General's office stepped in with working with other states to try to step in at state level to try to put a halt to this. Now, I understand that Boston and Cambridge have also taken that approach, but the state collectively, the AG's office stepped in to try to collectively do that for the entire state of Massachusetts.
Mr. Chairman, I'm deeply concerned. Our shelters are at capacity. We have no overflow shelter. It's cold outside. And we do have a neighborhood meeting coming up, as I understand. Through the chair to the administration, if in fact that goes well as I anticipate it may, what's the time frame to get something up and running through the chair?
Mr. Manager.
Yeah, through the chair to the council, if everything goes well, December 15th, Monday, we will be ready. I think it's Monday is the date. December 15th, we will be ready to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I echo the questions that the councilor had asked pertaining to how we're going to respond to this population, to the folks impacted, to the potential loss of funding that helps out with rent, et cetera. So I look forward to having the requests that I've made honored and brought back in a timely manner, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to sign on to this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Feeding cats, man.
Thank you, and I just want to thank the people who volunteered.
It is difficult
last
sometimes.
week at the overflow shelter we put together.
It's like hurting them.
The streets, and looking forward to.
Oh, wait.
what,
Wrong headphones.
Mr. Manager, your team has done for the.
Quick, say something
shelter
shitty about 'em.
going forward. So thank you for working on that. So send that to the manager. All those.
I was like, why don't I hear anything?
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Caloria?
Thank God you didn't hear that.
Councilor GA?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson?
Whatever. Say what you want. Just everybody say what you want.
Patillo?
Yes.
Councilor
I
Russell?
said, eating cats? What are you, Alf?
Yes.
Request to see manager request Commission of Public Works by the council
Yeah.
with the report concerning the department's performance during December 2nd, 2025 snow event, including but not limited to assessing the.
Oh, dude, I
of
don't know
roads
if I
that
can handle
occur,
this.
The timing of the start of the snow operations, the sufficiency of the number of snow equipment operators, and the sufficiency of the number of.
I don't know if I can handle the snow conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was almost tempted to say as it reads, but I'll just speak very briefly on this. As we all know, we had a recent
Honk shoe,
snowstorm.
honk shoe.
I know from the years on the council that the first snowstorm is always not a good snowstorm to judge.
This is,
People kind of forget from the previous winter how to drive in bad weather.
Same guy who argued against paying a more competitive rate for snowplow operators.
Operators don't have their summer and fall equipment removed from their vehicles, so it takes a little time to get up and going. I will say I had mixed reviews from what I heard personally and on social media as far as the storm and how it was dealt with. Taking into consideration it was the first storm of the year, I think it's appropriate to get this information. I would also say I don't know if pretreatment was or wasn't decided early on that it would happen or wouldn't. I do recall after last year, we had some questions about that. We were told that if the temperature is close to 32, 33 degrees where it's freezing, that pretreatment can happen and can be used. Maybe it was used, it certainly wasn't used in the neighborhoods I heard from. I don't know what time the equipment got sent out. So it could have been an event that was handled quite properly, and then maybe things that the commissioner can share was.
I don't know if I even saw anybody complaining about this one.
I guess it was good that the prediction of the type of storm and when it was going to hit was accurate, and also that the snowfall was less than expected. But moving forward, and I certainly hope, not a skier, so I hope there's no more snow, but I suspect there will be, and I look forward to the commissioner's report how we could do things better. Thank you.
You'll send that to the manager. Roll call.
We were in the middle of our filming week,
Councilor Bergman? Yes. Councilor Caloria?
and
Yes.
Councilor GA? Councilor King?
so we had to
Yes.
pay
Carlson?
a company
Leanne?
to come in
Councilor Rita?
after
Yes.
Councilor
the city
Patillo?
cleanup
Yes.
Councilor
to clean up
Russell?
our sets
Councilor Toomey?
and literally
Yes.
like truck the
Mayor
snow out.
Yes. Request the
Um,
manager reach out to
we
representatives of
paid-
Natural
we
Good,
spent, like,
determine the reasons power was
$25,000.
lost in the Purple Street
Whoa.
neighborhood on Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
as well as the steps taken to mitigate the issue.
So
Councilor
maybe maybe we
Thank
helped.
you so much, Mr.
'cause it
Chair.
was
So I
all
do just want to
downtown.
bring attention to the fact that there was a blackout in Burncoat on Thanksgiving. I was sitting in the dark with friends and family as well. I would say it was probably about half the neighborhood for a few hours. Fortunately, it was later in the day, so hopefully most people were done cooking. But it's definitely disappointing when the cost of our utility bills continue to rise year after year. It seems like every 6 months we have an increase. And then on Thanksgiving, half the neighborhood had no power. So I would love, going forward, just a report. It will probably be at the next council, and that's fine, just to understand why this happened, how long it took to fix the problem, because we were in the dark with about 8 kids under 8 for probably 2 to 3 hours. So just going forward, it'd be nice if National Grid could not lose power on Thanksgiving and tear up our streets and charge us extra money. Thank you.
Chairman.
Council Bergman?
What's this?
Thank you. I think it's
Jenny
a
all
very
along.
good order, and I was
Roasting
say
people.
that
We needed more of
I don't
this.
know if it could be
I
taken as
know.
a friendly amendment or it's a separate order, but I think the ask of National Grid should be that they should report to us every time there's an extended outage as to what happened and why. I will tell you that in the Newton Square neighborhood yesterday, where I live, power went out 3 times. First time it went out for 4 hours in the morning, then it went out for about an hour around 5 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock it went out, and there was an update from National Grid that it's gonna be back on at 10 at night. It wasn't back on at 10 at night. Another update will be on at 1 in the morning. It wasn't on at 1 in the morning. It came back 6 o'clock this morning, almost a full 12 hours. Now, granted, it wasn't Thanksgiving, but there was no snow yesterday. It wasn't a particularly windy day. I mean, I don't know, and it was affected, I went online, affected from Newton Square to Tatnick Square. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So I'm certainly not comparing it to being home with young children on a special day like Thanksgiving, but I think when there are significant outages, you know, there should be a report back to us why it happened and what was done to correct it, because I think people need to know that. A lot of people, their heating system runs on electricity. And in the wintertime with an extended outage like that, I'm sure there was a lot of people that were very cold, especially this time of year. So I don't know if we could look into it through the chair to the city manager, but I think it wouldn't be overly burdensome for National Grid to report to us on a regular basis, hopefully not on a regular basis, that we're not having outages, but whenever we do, what happened and why. Thank you.
Thank you. Send that as amended. We'll send that to the administration. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey? Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Okay, we have communications, submitting the approval of the city council,
Shots.
city council meeting schedule for calendar year 2026. Motions to accept. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, we can take several of these items together. 14A and B, for Economic Development Committee, we've adopted on a roll call. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes, 14C to 14F, except on the roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, we can take several of these together. 15A to 15F, motions to advertise the proposed ordinances. 15G to 15I, motion to accept and to adopt. 15M to 15Z, the motion is to accept. 16A to 16Z, the motion is to accept. Roll
Mr.
call.
Chairman, can we take out 15? M through Z, can we vote that separately as a block?
Okay, we're gonna take those out. Okay, roll call. Except 15M and 15Z.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, 15M to 15Z. Motions to accept. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council GA?
Yes.
Council King?
No.
Council Member Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
We have 17A to 17O. Motions to accept. 18A to 18F.
Romans-
This is Dana on a roll call.
Mr. Chairman?
Roman only celebrates
on
Christmas
18F,
insofar
I
as he
intend to
likes
ask
to
for
wear Christmas
reconsideration
sweaters.
I was just going to say the same thing. June is very holiday agnostic, but she has grown really fond of sweaters. Just in general, like wears a sweater all day, every day.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council
Had been
Carlucci?
wearing a really nice
Council
scarf
Jerry?
too, but she lost it on a hike on Sunday.
Councilmember Carlson?
Does a lot of
Councilor
nose
Yan?
counts.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yeah.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, 18F.
Oh, we're almost there.
I'm just, it can be called for roll call vote, but I intend.
This is the last one of the
for a
year?
Motion
Oh, I see
reconsideration.
what you're
That's
saying.
all.
Nah, there's one more.
Okay.
Confused.
18F, just asking for a roll call. 18F is on the zoning district
Oh,
establishment of commercial corridors.
was it
overlay.
last year or the year before?
Vicinity
We were
of
at
West Ormond
my brother's
Street,
for
Avenue.
Christmas. I think I've told you guys about this before,
Roll
but we were just sitting there,
Yeah.
and
Council
at their
Florio?
house they have a
Councilor Gia,
deer
Councilor
head
King?
on the
Councilor
wall.
Carlson?
I think it came with the house.
Councilor Yan? Councilor Ojeda?
It's way high up. It's like
Yes.
10,
Council
12 feet
Russell?
up
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yeah.
on this wall.
Yes.
And we were just sitting there watching a movie, and Roman
Motion for
just happens to
reconsideration.
kind of look up at one point. He's been quiet all day.
Council
And he just starts
Bergman?
fucking
Council Florio?
freaking out. He
Gia?
saw the deer head
Council
and
King?
like
Councilmember
wanted to
Carlson?
kill it.
Councilor
Trying to
Yan?
climb the
Councilor
wall
Ojeda?
to attack this
Council Pasillo?
a reindeer for all he
Toomey?
knows.
That's awesome.
And Mayor Petty?
It was really funny.
Hold on to privilege. The first one was 19A.
So I guess maybe he does
CLR
hate
transmitting
Christmas? I don't know.
information
It's hard to
communication
say.
relative to the follow-up to 2023 investigations of the Worcester Police Department's overtime and detailed policy and procedures, as well as reports issued on January 15, 2024, as presented by Clifton Lawson Allen, Forensic Services Team. Holding the privilege. We can send out to public safety. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Florio?
Yes.
Council Gia?
Yes.
Council King?
Mr. Chairman, where'd you say that's going to?
Public safety.
No.
Okay, keep going.
Councilmember Carlson? Yes. Councilor Yan? Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, CR to distribute information communication of an analysis of the Worcester Police Department's body-worn camera program performance by Clifton Allen, Lassen and Allen. Held on the privilege. Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Certainly appreciate this report that was requested. There's a number of positives in this report. I'm certainly not going to take up too much time here, but there are also opportunities for improvement. One of the things that it references is that that when looking at footage from body-worn cameras, that officers almost always activate their cameras in accordance with policy. There's also, as part of this report, that existing policies and practices are functioning as intended relative to body-worn cameras and training and documentation. But there are some concerns, Mr. Chairman, and I have a few of those as it relates to sleep mode. Sleep mode is if a body-worn camera is in sleep mode, there's a buffering of 30 seconds that would not be recorded prior to initiating the body-worn camera where things are lost. There's also a concern I have regarding footage access. Currently, footage access is not restricted to officers from their body-worn cameras when prior to doing a report. The only time there is a restriction is if there's a use of force that meets a certain criteria. The recommendations are that access should be restricted prior to any reports. You know, there's also a concern. I've spoken with some attorneys here in the city of Worcester that do business down at the courts and are representing folks, and they had concerns, again, about obstructing of cameras, muting versus turning off of cameras, and all these things are touched upon in this report. Concerns about, you know, that there are recommendations here where the manager's team has responded for the most part in a way that'll be constructive and will take actions in regards to all this. But there is need for additional policy enhancement that I look forward to going to committee and having those folks dig through that in an effective way, Mr. Chairman. And there are some concerns about application gaps and what have you. A need to increase feedback from officers. It was found that supervisors are taking the appropriate steps for oversight here, and that the supervisors who are providing oversight of the body-worn cameras demonstrate flexibility and discretion when they're auditing and selecting. But there is also some recommendations that there needs to be more work providing comments from those supervisors in the reviewed recordings. So there's a lot to dig through here, and I'm just hoping that the Public Safety Committee will rise to the occasion and take a good look and be a part of working towards improvement, and particularly in some of the areas that I mentioned, Mr. Chairman. And lastly, there is a lack of restriction on body-worn camera footage, that there's a broad access in some instances that increase risk of unauthorized viewing. I really hope that the manager takes a look at that in addition to this committee as we move forward. But certainly appreciate this report. And Mr. Chairman, through the chair to the manager, can we ensure that the auditor is also a part of this? And the reason, just for the public, why I voted no on the prior matter pertaining to overtime is historically that's gone to municipal operations. I think once this last term it went down to the Public Safety Committee, but really just requires a different sort of analysis, and what have you. So my question to the Chair to the Administration, with regards to the body-worn camera, can we be assured that the auditor will be there, like he's open to that? I know he's our employee, so I'd like to make a motion that we request that the auditor be present in that meeting. That'd be my motion. But is there any barrier to that through the Chair to the Administration?
Mr. Manager?
Through the Chair to the Council, if you're asking for the auditor a barrier for the auditor to be part of the subcommittee?
Yeah, I put it in
So,
the motion. But
yeah.
I just wonder, is there a barrier? Is there anything that will prevent that from your perspective?
No, I think it just provides a more fruitful conversation if there are questions related to the actual report that the chief of the administration can be able to answer. The auditor can be more specific about kind of the work that the firm did in terms of providing or getting that information. So it may provide better discussion at the committee level if you have the combination of both.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And before I rest, there's a recommendation here with this document and this analysis that was commented on by our city auditor, Robert Stearns. In the last paragraph, there's a recommendation that with response to equity audit recommendations, that the Worcester Police Department should prepare an annual review and completed report in February of each year. And that information could be helpful in consideration for performance reviews and the like. So, Mr. Chairman, through the chair, I would like to make a motion that this council would request that the manager consider working towards preparing an annual review and completed report with the Office of the Auditor, that they work collaboratively to that end to make sure that we realize such a report yearly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So we'll send that to the manager, to the Public Safety Committee. Along with the motions to the manager. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Agia?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson? Council Nian? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Pasillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Communication City Manager recommended adoption of an order regarding the jurisdiction disposition of the real property of 100 Providence Street. Councilor Russell?
Mr. Chairman, on this item, I was contacted by one of my constituents, Mr. Courtney, Don Courtney, which I think all of us know, who asked about the feasibility of this building being used to house some of the artifacts of the Worcester Six, because from what he had said, that there was the plan to put it in Union Station didn't quite come together.
Bill, that was per Cambridge's request.
And this might have been an.
What's per? Oh, sorry, I wasn't even on this tab. Oh my God, what a cutie!
Yeah, we get a. She looks good in this picture.
That's a sweet boy. George is red.
Box 4.
What? What is going on here?
For a location. So
Red George?
For those two things to come back to the council.
Can I bug it?
In a formal report from the administration.
Like, that's fucked up, right?
It is looking different. They're just doing filters.
Utilize or any other types of the
Red George.
Or we asked last week. We asked for the information.
We love
about
this.
The possibility of the ambulance service and private company being there. So with all that in mind, I'm asking for the new report, and I'd also ask to table this item so it can be taken up by the next council after those reports come in.
Okay. So, Mr. Manager?
Yeah, through the chair to the council. Yeah, we'd be happy to provide some reports, and I just want to be careful that we can't provide too much information about interested parties that might be interested in the potential property, because again, it's a municipal property, so any property that the city engages, whether it's a lease or an actual sale of that, it requires an RFP procurement process, so we want to be careful about kind of providing that much information, but we'll come forward with a report in terms of what are the potential feasibilities, et cetera. I know that there's others since then have started to reach out, people who are just general interest, since they're hearing about 100 Providence Street now, they're getting free advertisement on a potential sale of a property, so people are reaching out and wanting to see the property, tour the property, so it's generating interest on many different parties.
I appreciate that information, Mr. Manager, through you, Mr. Chairman. I just, when I was talking about.
Love this camera.
The other two uses, I wasn't thinking of them as being potential.
George is so red.
I think they're
We have to make sure that
But I look forward
John
to seeing
Priscilla
that
takes over that
information
seat.
and, cheering on it.
Yes, I know. We need him. That's like the comedic relief seat. Like, that's where we need him. We need to make sure that.
Make sure that he and Jose are sitting next to each other, so it's like the two kids in the back of the class.
Oh yeah.
Say that again?
The other motion.
They're gonna be cutting lines back there, dude.
He was just asking to get a report back on the feasibility of putting the Worcester Six artifacts and using that building as a city building.
Is that through the chair? Just a question to the administration or whoever. So I can recall, discussion around Union Station and there being a fire department or a firefighter museum there. Is my recollection?
We put Christopher Columbus there instead.
What happened with that?
Mr. Manager?
Through the chair to the council, yeah, I'm not quite sure kind of what happened in terms of when the decision was made not to pursue and why that happens. I'd be happy to provide a report back on that. I just don't have the details. So when we come back forward with the feasibility that the motion that the council has put forward, we'll try to explain kind of a little bit further and provide some historical context to it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make that by way of a motion, that we get that report back to find out exactly what happened. And Mr. Chairman, I just want to reemphasize, I was part of, as a union member previously, going out there and protesting when they, took that location away from the fire department, what have you. And, fortunately, a ambulance service was there. Anything that we can do to keep that neighborhood safe, I hope would be prioritized. I'm really hopeful that, I'm hopeful that this additional attention doesn't rule that out in terms of bidding. I'm not sure what that would look like unless we put out a specific RFP for, I don't know, public health, something. I don't know how specific that RFP would have to be. But Mr. Chairman, I think we really should guard that, and that be a priority, as I stated the last time. And through the chair to the chair, can you just tell me again procedurally, how many votes to get that off the table? I'm not inclined to support putting it on the table, to be quite frank with you, but I just want to know, is it 4 votes? Is it 6?
6 votes.
It's 6 votes. And through the chair to the administration, what impact would this have on the current process if we table it till January, February, March, April, May, June, or July?
Yeah, through the chair of the council, we would have to hold that property and take on any carrying costs to potentially heat the property, keep the property sealed, anything that we're potentially, any
It's too
maintenance to the
small.
property, et cetera, just carrying costs.
Too big, I mean.
To that.
It won't size right.
Chairman, this particular
But
item
there's Roman wearing a sweater.
is 21C, is that correct?
Mr. Manager?
Is it 19C? Do I have the wrong thing here? So it's not the request for the report, right?
What building do they want to use?
Unsure.
Mr.
Yes,
Manager?
please explain to the chair.
Yeah, through the chair to the council. So the adoption of an order regarding the jurisdiction and disposition of real properties, basically right now, this property is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Facilities. They oversee it, they manage it, they manage the lease, et cetera. So what this is doing is this order is allowing the transfer of that property to the city manager's to the city manager. So then giving the city manager this position to then potentially sell it. So knowing
Put it out
the
to bid.
concerns of the council.
Put it out to bid.
Put it out to bid, yeah, but whether it's a release or it's for sale, et cetera. Based on the conversation of the council, based on the priorities of this council and what has been communicated to me. By approving this order here, yes, it gives me the authority to then, if I want to put out the bid, to put out the bid. But then if I do that, in some ways, I'd be defying what the council is asking me to do, which is provide reports, get more information, and find feasibilities for this property to be able to be housed for other purposes. So again, it doesn't preclude me from that. It's just what it does is that if that doesn't go in that direction, and that is not something that then the council or others support, then I can quickly move and pivot and submit an RFP for the public for acquisition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I personally am aware of folks that are interested in this location in order to provide emergency services to the community. I can say that.
Oh, are they talking about the
with conviction?
the firehouse
My
up on
concern
the
is that
up on the hill?
delaying that such
I think so, yeah.
place that neighborhood at risk. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get the property if it was put out to bid, but I'm not going to vote to hold it. I'd like to see this moving forward, and I would like the reports that council.
There's a fire station on
21C to be honored.
over by North High.
Mr. Chairman.
It's tricked out with like
Thank
fucking.
you. So the motion is to.
It's like a whole
table the item.
housing unit. You know, it's like it's right next to Foley's Fish and
Yeah.
Chip.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
sick.
the Kirchies on that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Councilor
No.
Carlson?
Yeah.
Councilor Nguyen, Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor
What?
Russell? Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, on Council Russell and.
Any of you guys nerd out on fonts?
Roll call.
Yeah, I like fonts.
Yeah. The State Department just ruled that the Biden era move to Calibri as a more legible or more readable font was wasteful, so they're making a switch back to Times New Roman.
We just voted to hold Councilor Russell's office.
That's very.
Calibri must have sounded
Council
too
Russell has an order.
It's
on it.
all about,
The use of the
efficiency.
Property, where it could be used for the artifacts of the Worcester Fire Department. As you-
Just asking for a report.
Yeah, I'm just asking for a
And
report.
Councilor King?
Councilman King, I forget what he said. Did you have a motion?
Because I don't recall one. That kind of threw me off track.
Yeah, let me think.
So
about it.
I think Councilor King asked for a report as well for what happened to the fire.
Oh, the fire, what happened
Yeah,
to
at
the
Fire Museum,
Union
at the Union
Station?
Station.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio? Councilor Haji?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson? Councilor Nguyen, Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes, so we have a motion to adjourn.
Oh, thank God.
Suspension of the rules, roll call.
Bergman?
Yes.
Council Florio? Council Haji?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson? Council Nguyen? Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Basillo?
Yes.
Council Russell? Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In light of the information that came out today, came out to me today regarding a potential December 15 go date, perhaps, if all things go well, regarding an overflow shelter. Sorry, what? Oh. I want to have an understanding about what work we're doing with the private businesses.
Article about it, about that house.
Population that's unsheltered, given what occurred on Grafton Street with the folks that were sleeping in the dumpster. That was very concerning, and I'm wondering, in terms of numbers of folks that we have calculated are out there, what will the capacity need to be for the shelter that we're discussing? And the reason I'm asking that is because I can recall, I think last year, when we had to request the state to expand the capacity. So that's my motion, that's my order. If the manager would like to comment on it, fine. But I do have some concerns that way, through the chair.
Okay. Mr. Manager?
Yeah, to the council, it's a good question that, again, we, and working with providers, are trying to grapple. We don't know what that capacity is. We know that there's individuals in the streets, and
Yes, you
that
do, dog.
community is very transient. So one
I'll get
day
it right
we may need
now.
a capacity of 60. The next day we may need a capacity of 100 more. We don't know that. And also, what oftentimes happens is when we open overflow shelters, the word gets out. So other communities, other hospitals, other agencies know about it and can start making phone calls and asking if they can place their residents here as well. So then what we tried to do and what we tried to do last year is we tried to first go to our in-house populations in our current city that are, whether in the woods or wherever it may be, that the quality of life team, the outreach workers, everybody is knows, and try to get them to the shelter first. And then is when we open it up. And the shelter fills up pretty quickly. And again, when it fills up pretty quickly, it's coming from all different angles, whether it's local people or it's coming from people across Central Mass that are being sent because they know that there's a vacancy there. So it's really tough to target what exactly that number is. We know what the currently unhoused number is in Worcester, and we know that we need an overflow based on the current capacity of the current shelter network. Last year, it was more specific in terms of the need because the need last year was specific driven for the LGBTQIA and women who wanted their own space. And so we try to move quickly with the state to try to increase that capacity to provide their own space because of challenges and their unique supportive services that they need that they may not feel comfortable, whether it's at Queen Street or other locations. That has been kind of addressed at some level where we've now designated a specific location in the city for women, and we have about 64 women in that shelter right now. I am in conversations to look at LGBTQIA plus shelters in the city. We've just had a conversation with a partner just last week on that to see if we can open one and what are the resources that we can allocate or put together to try to support that. So there's a lot of work happening around this, but I think one of the challenges is because the community is so transient, we're also trying to figure out, like, what's that number? What's that number that we're aiming for? Is it 100? Is it 50? Is it 200?
It was like 220 last year, so it's definitely not fucking 50. Shut up. There's always a deficit.
Greater than what we currently have in terms of capacity.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Castile was a champion for us here in the city of Worcester, and that position is vacant, as I understand it. You're right. We have an interim. I'm just wondering what the planning is for that. I'm not asking for it now, like a report back. It's very important we have someone with that level of expertise ready to execute, Mr. Chairman. We are in a crisis, and I'm going to repeat my challenge to the city manager, that we take a look at vacancy factors, let's shift some money, and let's increase the number of outreach workers and the additional social workers. I know the concern was brought up that we might deplete the reservoir of social workers in the Commonwealth or in the city, and I stand before you as an expert in that field, and that we should be moving as much as we can. The population has increased significantly over the last couple of years, and we need all hands on deck. The last thing that we should do is investing more money in ways that would potentially criminalize the homeless. I'm not saying we're doing that, but if we're putting money into treatment and outreach versus overtime and suppression, and we have to comply with the feds and what they're asking, I think we should get ahead of the ball. So being me reiterating that challenge, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Yes, I'll send that to the manager. Those in favor? I'm sorry, roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor G.I.?
Yes.
Councilor King? Councilor Merrill Carlson? Councilor Nguyen? Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Motion to adjourn. Those in favor? Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor G.I.? Councilor
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson? Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Pasillo?
Yes.
Councilor Russell? Councilor Toomey? Mayor Petty.
Yep.
Okay, that was fucking.
Wow.
That was fucking. Yep.
What a good time we all had with our friends.
That was something.
No. Wonderful.
It was wonderful. That was great. That was awesome. I was I got so many good things to say about it. I don't know. I mean, some interesting homelessness stuff for sure. But other than that, fucking whatever of a meeting, just did not accomplish anything. So
Yeah, the talk at the end was very interesting.
Yeah.
But as Amber put it, so bleak.
Oh yeah, like a lot, a very bleak.
Yeah. Kate was the whipping boy this week. Yeah, it was great to be on the chat with everybody. I don't know. We got one more meeting with this current council, right?
Yeah.
And then fucking hell season starts. And this show becomes.
We should pick shifts
Yeah, I think so.
for the good night.
Yeah, we gotta reorganize some things for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just we're just gonna become dedicated to like using our psychic energy to try and like support Rob.
Right.
Bolster him. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a rough 2 years.
Yeah, it's gonna suck ass.
Yeah. So, I don't have anything interesting to say. I've slept less than 20 hours in the last
let's just get out of here. Go buy my t-shirts at buy a new t-shirt.
BillShaner.substack.com.
Yeah, I ordered too many of them.
BillShaner.shopify.com.
Big Cartel.
Big Cartel. Sorry, ignore the Shopify thing. Make sure that you buy all the shirts.
Buy
Bill has
all
to print
the
more shirts.
Buy all the shirts.
Make sure that you're subscribed to BillShaner.substack.com.
Yes,
WorcesterSucks.email at Worcester_sucks.
That's right.
Follow us at WCT3000 on Instagram. Subscribe to us on our Twitch channel so that you can see all of our great shows when the city council is actually meeting and when we're here for that. And follow Wootenanny Comedy on Instagram. We got a lot of great shows coming up. Some great stuff for the new year. We're doing a lot of stuff at Travis's, which I'm really excited about. So
yeah.
Come check us out. Come hang down there. It's a great time. We can be crazy. We're not bothering anybody down there. No one can yell at us or say bad stuff to us. So we appreciate you guys hanging out and your support as always. Now let's all have a wonderful Christmas time. Am I right? Take it away, Brandon. Who was it? We forgot to talk about your musical number. Sorry. We'll get it next time. We'll see you next Tuesday, everybody. We love you.
See you next Tuesday, everybody.
Good night and good luck.